Good morning, guys. Let me make sure y'all can hear me. Y'all can hear me. It is time. It is the day. It is Wednesday. We have the FOMC decision going live today at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The NASDAQ is up. It's at 27,274 right now. Oil is all the way up to 103. The president did tweet again a couple hours ago. He put this tweet out there. Let's go ahead and show you guys this tweet. But the president did tweet again, more escalation. And this is basically what he said. It kind of shows signs that they're not willing to work with us regarding nuclear, which is what we told you guys would be the case yesterday. But Trump posted this. He said, Iran can't get their act together. They don't know how to sign a non-nuclear deal. They better get smart soon. U.S. president. And then he posted this. An AI picture of himself with just, and again, so that happened yesterday. That's what's driving markets. More potential escalation. Apparently, Iran is preparing for more war. Trump is losing patience. And yeah, today it's Wednesday morning. The president posted no more Mr. Nice Guy. Yesterday, Iran says if the situation gets out of control, they'll ask the Houthis to close Bab el-Mandeb, the other critical shipping choke point in the Red Sea. That would be the second straight closed. Yesterday, Iran's military spokesperson did say that conditions remain those of wartime, and so they're actively updating targets, they say, continuing training, producing, and upgrading. They do not consider the war over despite the ceasefire is here. And again, it looks like they're unwilling to make a deal right now. Oil, again, over 100 for WTI crude. If we look at Brent crude right now, Brent crude, I'm sure, is pretty freaking high also. Yeah, Brent crude is at 115 basically right now for Brent crude prices. So here's Brent. Brent crude is very, very high right now. Again, right around 114.50s. It's up about 3% on the day. I'm sure yields are probably pretty high, all things considered. Today is the FOMC decision. It is Powell's last meeting today. Warsh is expected to get sworn in at about 10 a.m. today. Not sworn in, voted in, I'm sorry. They're going to make votes on putting Warsh in at 10 a.m. today. And as long as he gets voted in, which is pretty likely, I think, reporters are going to ask, we made a short about this, but as long as he gets voted in, reporters are going to ask, is Jerome Powell going to give up his board seat, right? And to understand like why this matters regarding Jerome Powell's board seat, there's a couple things to understand about this. But it matters because it has to do with votes. And so I think if Powell stays on, it'll be like 4-7. If Powell leaves, Trump's going to appoint another, person there, and they're going to have a majority votes. And so where the future of the Fed goes is going to depend on whether Jerome Powell gives up that board seat or not. I think it's 4-7 if Powell leaves, and so they'll have the majority. And so that's going to influence where rates go, where votes go, and yeah, we'll see what happens, guys. We'll see what happens. Let me say hey to everybody. What's up, Boo Boo Bear? What's up, Guy from Texas? Todd, Corey, Sam, Reggie, Farmer, G-Man, Peck, Brian, Kato, Sam, Gen X, Jason, Yee, Love, Big Slum, Matthew, Chris, Pulse, Trinity, Old Hack, Izzy, Uncontrollable, Apex, Wanna Be a Trader, Sabars, Dark, Keegan. What's up, guys? Good morning. Good morning. Fred, Techie, Ava, what's up, guys? Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. And good morning, John.
I'm here, dude. I'm here, man. It's an interesting day. A lot of stuff going on today. Following Powell, again today, we have Google, Amazon, Meta, and what's the other one? Microsoft earnings after Powell. So after Powell, we actually got a pretty busy day after that, too. So it's not a small day by any means. Just so much stuff is going on right now. And so... Go ahead.
I think the odds are that he does give up his board seat. Powell.
The last time I looked at it, like if we look at these odds, right, and this is what I made a short about this, but odds makers are pricing this in. Let me see, Powell. And odds makers, when I looked at it, it was like 60-40 that he gives up his board seat. Let me see. Okay, it's actually gone up a little bit since I looked at it. There is a 35% chance that Powell will give us board seat up today, basically. Like, they have it by May 30th. So again, there is a 35% chance. There's an 83% chance that he gives it up by the end of this year. And so, there's a chance that he stays on. I don't know if it's a high chance, but I think with the subpoena getting dropped and everything going on right there, it's much more probable that he's going to, he's obviously this is going to be his last FOMC meeting today. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, that is kind of the nature of things right now.
Okay. So we're at about a little over a third that he gives it up, which I said it wrong on purpose, but
yeah. Well, Sam, so let me see. I thought it was 3-7. I thought one of them was 3-7, and then if he gives up the board seat, I think Trump right now, like pro-Trump, dovish Fed members are 3-7 right now with Jerome Powell on the board. I think if he gives up his board seat, it will make it 4-7, which will be a majority, is what I believe. I'll have to go back and check. But I think that's what it is. He has said he would stay on the board until the DOJ investigation is complete. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that investigation is over as well. I'm pretty sure that investigation is over. I'm pretty sure they're done with it. I don't think it's going to go anywhere, and I think they basically came out saying it was done. I know a judge ruled against it, and they were going to appeal and still kind of keep after it, but I think it's basically done right now. If we look at oil again up, Bitcoin price, Chad, if we look at Bitcoin here, Bitcoin's back up a little bit today. It's at almost 78,000 again. Closed at about 76,000. It's almost to 78,000 again for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is bouncing back a little bit today. We'll see if it holds. But again, are you bullish or bearish, chat, on the day? I'm gonna ask the chat this question here on a poll. Are you bullish or bearish today? With all the stuff going on, I think it's an interesting day here, and we don't really have any morning economic data like normal here, so it's not like we have any like big morning economic reports or anything like that. But we got durable good orders at 8:30. Maybe we'll see if those move markets. I don't think they will. We have the Bank of Canada rate decision 15 minutes after the bell at 9:45. They're overwhelmingly expecting a pause for the Bank of Canada, but we do have that today after the opening bell today. And remember, Warsh is supposed to step in, or Warsh is supposed to get voted in today at 10 o'clock. So Warsh is supposed to get voted in at 10. We'll see what happens there, but he is expected to get voted in. I do expect him to, get voted in today. And because of that, I do expect the reporters during the FOMC meeting to ask Jerome Powell, about what's going on in regards to the Fed and everything else. We did our poll. Are you bullish or bearish right now? Yeah, we're going to live stream earnings later as well. You're a bear?
Today. I don't know. Just decided to switch it up.
You're bearish? Brit is bearish today, guys. Brit is bearish.
I'm probably wrong, but I don't really care.
I mean, I think what I'm speculating is this. All right, this is what I think. Okay. I think the big question is going to be whether Jerome Powell stays on the board. I think when Jerome Powell speaks today, one of the things that we're going to see in the statement is probably going to be something like, hey, this Iran conflict has skewed the price of oil and skewed inflation and makes it harder to gauge where rates are going to be going in the short term. And so I do not think he's going to commit to a rate path today. I think I think Warsh is coming in anyway. But again, I think if Jerome Powell stays on the board, that's going to be one of the big questions. I think Warsh is going to be doving once over the Fed, but I think Jerome Powell is still going to refuse to commit to a base case rate path today. I think as of now, maybe one rate cut this year, maybe none is what we're looking like. But it's unsure and uncertain path is what I assume that's what they're going to say regarding rates right now with everything going on with inflation. The labor market showed a little bit more resilient, so I think with the data that we've seen in the labor market over the past couple months, I think it's going to look a little bit more hawkish in terms of if it has to lean to one side. I think it'll probably look a little bit more hawkish than the last meeting, just because since the last meeting, we've had better jobs data. ADP data has been stronger. The official labor report, while it might be nonsense, has been stronger for payrolls. And so I do expect a little bit hawkish of a Fed. Stronger jobs and more inflation means they might keep rates higher or refuse to cut rates as early as some people might push for. You know what I mean? That's what I think they're probably going to do today. But again, I think attention's going. Powell gives up his board seat now or sometime this year or next year or whenever he chooses to do it. And I think there's a chance he might not answer that question either, and he might give it time and just say, "Yo, we'll see what happens." But I do think that's going to be one of the big focal point questions of the day. Yeah, he's going to wait to see how the economy plays out.
I think that was a nice breakdown. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Inverse Brit. Yeah.
I don't know why. Like, none of the other ones bother me, but Brent bothers me. I hate having an N in my name. There's no N.
Bro, everybody here call him Brent. Do not call him anything else. Call him Brent. He is basically crude oil right now. He's the worldwide standard of crude oil. Only call him Brent. Only call him Brent.
I'm going to start my own oil company called Brit Crude.
Yeah, I see BJ saying no cut. Yeah, we're not cutting rates today. There's zero chance. I don't even think if we look at the Fed watch tool, there's any freaking chance the Fed cuts rates today. Zero chance the Fed cuts rates. There's not even the likelihood. I've never seen the Fed meeting give 100% options for anything. It's literally 100% likely that we're not going to do anything but pause today. So I don't think, yeah.
Thanks, Checker. Solidarity, I appreciate it.
0%. I've never seen the odds of a pause
at 100%.
At 100%. That's very strange. I've never seen the odds of anything on the Fed watch tool at 100%, but I agree. I don't know if it's 100. I would say it's 99 point something.
So if it doesn't happen with 100% prediction, does the simulation break?
Maybe. Oh, dude, if we do not pause rates today, something's breaking. If we don't pause rates today, something's freaking breaking, because markets are really in shambles if we do. Yeah. So. Yeah, where's this at?
Weird. I honestly say I watch it daily. I do too. Yeah. I appreciate it.
Yeah, this channel makes me despise Brit Crude to your co-host. Yeah, look. NASDAQ is up here.
Got me in my fields.
Yeah. 99.99%. Yeah, I hope we rip up like 5% and let the actual correction begin. Maybe, brother. Maybe, my friend. We'll see, dude. It's an interesting day here. Yeah. Again, we got SoFi earnings today as well here, just for everybody at home. So we do have SoFi earnings releasing today. If you look at SoFi right here, SoFi is dumping down on their earnings report. They are down to 1670s right now on their earnings. So SoFi has dumped on their earnings report. They are down pretty significantly from this. They are not reacting necessarily well here. Weird. Yeah.
What's weird?
Hold up. I'm looking at SoFi. Bitcoin pulling back some in here as well. Yeah, the big news yesterday was that's been influencing oil and markets is that the UAE left OPEC, which is kind of interesting news. Oil still pretty freaking high here, though. There's Bitcoin. Here's oil. So oil all the way up at 103s. Yeah, it's very strange. Like my views fell. Like I've never seen them do this. It's very weird. My views went from like 430 all the way down to like 380s, and I haven't seen my views go down like that in a morning stream in a long time. It's very odd. Very odd. Not at this early. So I'm just kind of watching my views to try to figure out. YouTube has been acting a little off today. It's been a little weird. So, very strange. Robinhood also reported. Yeah, sometimes their UI is off. Robinhood is at 72.87 right now. So look at Robinhood drop from its earnings. So it fell all the way down here to 72.84s right now. So Robinhood dumped here. Dumped. Yeah, it's dumping here, man. Look at Robinhood. And again, the NASDAQ here, guys. 27,260s here on the NQ. So, yeah, and see, it just jumped all the way back up to like 4 something. Very weird. Very weird.
Wound me, Sam.
Yeah, SoFi's earnings reports SoFi did not react well to earnings. So SoFi EPS showed up at 12 cents. They expected 12 cents. So they came in flat for EPS. Revenue at 1.09 billion. They expected 105. So a little bit better. Adjusted EBITDA was 340 million versus 309 expected. But guidance numbers did show up basically flat. Maybe slightly higher, but they did not react well. They came in basically in line for margins, and I think that's freaking people out, and that's why SoFi is down pretty big. Yeah. Yeah, SoFi, again, just dumped here, down a couple dollars a share, which is a big percentage for them. You know, dropping $2-3 a share for SoFi is not a small percentage. And so SoFi dumping down again. Robinhood with a big negative move here for Robinhood. Look at Robinhood all the way down to 72.80s here. Did buy opportunities. Crypto Dragon Hood down. Yeah, we'll see if it holds, but man, markets are kind of freaking out right now. Visa pumping. Okay, I pressed the thumbs up. Yeah, y'all hit the thumbs up. I appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much. It's just strange. Like, I've never seen it do that. It's kind of weird. NASDAQ, again, at 27,260s.
Yeah,
Pawn said there's been... Yeah, Pawn said there's been issues across platforms, and I think that makes sense. Like, I've seen weirdness today in general. But, man, will oil close red on the day? No, I don't think it's going to close red. There's too much stuff going on with Trump and the president, or with the... But yeah, Donald Trump slammed Iran over nuclear talks, saying it failed to make progress towards a deal. He said they can't get their act together. They better get smart soon. He posted on social media. And yeah, today should be interesting. We do, like I said, we do have durable good orders. Yields, I'm assuming, are going to be up today when we look at them. Like, here's 10-year treasuries. I'm assuming they're going to be a little bit higher today, just based off of oil. And they're a little bit higher. Closed at 4.35 or so, a little bit under that. They're at 4.36 roughly right now. So yields are up today, which is what we would expect. But yeah, SoFi earnings, a big one. Again, we got Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, and what was the other? Microsoft, Amazon, Meta. What's the other one today? There's one more. Microsoft, Amazon,
Google.
Meta, Google. Yeah, Google today. And so those earnings are going to be after the FOMC decision in meeting here. So yeah, Jerome Powell's last FOMC meeting, you know, we'll see what he says at the end. I still expect them to be very data dependent, very neutral, refuse to commit to a rate path is what I expect. So I do expect him to be very data dependent, very neutral, refuse to commit to a rate path moving forward here. So I don't expect him to like be crazy in terms of his decisions. I don't expect him to be too, you know, radical in his predictions. I think he might stress the inflationary aspects of the oil from this conflict. Nasdaq just jumped up though. Look at this Nasdaq jump. Let's see if this is catalyst driven, but the Nasdaq did just pop up here. Let's look at oil. Oil did just drop and the Nasdaq did just pop up here. So let's see if this is from any catalyst real quick. Let me make sure there's no news coming out. The volume did go up when this candle started here. So you can see the volume did spike up a little bit. Let's see if there's news. Total CEO expects LNG prices. Yeah, you're reading the same thing as me. To remain good. Pentagon estimates that formally renaming the Department of Defense as the Department of War will cost $52 million in taxpayer money. Again, the Iranian Rial crashes to a record low of 1.8 million per US dollar due to the president's blockade. I saw that news earlier, but yeah, look at the markets jump here a little bit here. Let's see if there's a reason. I don't see a reason right now. Let me know if you guys see a reason for this. I see the total CEO expects LNG prices to remain good in 2027. But let's see if there's a catalyst here. But we did get a volume pop. It's not a huge volume pop, but it's something. And you can see oil did drop down here. It could be stock related, though, is what I'm looking at. It could be from stocks here. Yeah. No, this is my same mic. This is the same mic I've been using. Let me know if it sounds good. Yeah, I mean, it's jumping up a little bit, dude. It's jumping up a little bit. Yeah, Yeah, it's popping up some. I mean, look, we'll see what happens, but it's popping up some. Like, look, I think we have to look at it all volume wise.
Pretty big pop.
Yeah, I mean, when in the context of where the market was prior to this, over the last 45 minutes, this is a jump. This is a jump. Oil's falling down. If you look at oil right here on this side, oil is dipping down today. So
it's got to be catalyst driven, don't you think? I mean, even if we can't find it,
it's not quite that big to where it has to be, I think, but I would say there's a good chance it is. But it's not big enough to where it absolutely has to be. I'm trying to look at stocks. Nvidia's up to 214s today. So Nvidia is up, AMD's up, Google is down, Meta is down, Microsoft is down, Amazon is down. So all the companies reporting earnings today are a little red on the day, but chip stocks are green. MU's green, Nvidia's green, SanDisk is green, TSM is green. So it could just be chip stocks bumping up higher here.
What's WTI down to?
WTI's down to 102.80s now, but it's not quite as big to where it has to be catalyst. It could be anything really here. Yeah. What's up, Checkboard? Check White House talks. The White House isn't streaming right now. So they're not really streaming right now, but we did get a volume spike here. So if you look at the volume did increase like a little bit, but it wasn't like a crazy amount, but we did get a volume spike here, and you can see the big pop up that we just made, and oil dipped down. So something, but I don't think it's anything too crazy because we would have already gotten reports on it. But again, the big question is, when does this conflict end, chat? When do you guys think this conflict ends? Does it end in the next 2 months? Does it end in the next month? Does it end in the next 6 months? End in the next year? Let me know in chat right now. That's my question for the chat today. When does this conflict end?
They'll say it's going to be relatively short term. I say 2 to 3 months, honestly. I don't know what it's going to look like. It's looking more and more like it's not going to be completely diplomatic, but I think it'll end one way or the other in that time period.
Yeah, that's possible. Dude, every time I try to take it off of sub-only mode, bro, it automatically reverts to sub-only mode. It kind of bothers me. All right, so look at the NASDAQ completely reverse this move.
Tomorrow. I wish.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're down to 27,250s here, 27,250s. Yeah, SoFi earnings could be boosting this. I don't know for sure, but SoFi dumping down. I mean, not boosting it. Could be affecting markets. I don't think so, though. It's just not big enough, really. The SoFi earnings call is going on right now.
Phone and computer stocks all going to suffer due to helium shortage. Is the helium shortage due to the blockade? Does helium go through the strait, or is it coming from somewhere else?
Jerome will leave his legacy as an inflation regulator. Whatever just happened, it just unhappened. Yeah, no, for sure. NASDAQ completely turned back down, and oil just popped back higher here, guys. So really interesting. I see Kuwait Prime Minister is going to discuss the impact of the United Arab Emirates leaving OPEC with the oil cabinet they have. So I do see that news coming out. But the big trend is no more Mr. Nice Guy. The president is saying no more Mr. Nice Guy. Is what he said yesterday. Again, here is the tweet that we got from him.
All he had to do was leave the picture off.
I know, bro. Like, dude, if he... The problem is that he posts AI images too much. Like, bro, sit down, dude. Stop posting pictures, right? Like, again, I'm not criticizing him. I'm just being honest. Like, the president needs to stop posting AI generated pictures here. You know?
Yeah, like just objectively. Like, I'm not taking a side here one way or the other, but the things that he does would be much more palatable if he just wouldn't talk about it.
Right. It's too much. It's too much. He's got to chill sometimes. Man.
Thanks for the clarification, Sam.
NASDAQ coming down a little bit. We're at 27,240s, guys. 27,240. So NASDAQ oil jumping back higher. Oil's now back over 103s here for CL crude futures. And so, yeah, markets are kind of nervous about everything. I do expect us to chop today, though. So if I look for some trading strategies, it's going to be based around choppiness. I am going to be looking for like choppy systems, like range bound trading. today is what I'm looking at. So I'm looking at it. I'm trying to attack a range here. So I'm gonna try to attack a range. There's 27 250s here. What's up, Faye?
Hey, Faye.
Yeah, Sean. I'm not. Look, I'm not siding for or against them here. I'm just objectively, I think he would get a lot more support in what he does if he didn't post AI generated pictures of him looking ridiculous in different things, right? I think one of the biggest criticisms that we've seen from him over the last couple weeks is that he's posting these images, and these images are getting people riled up. I just don't think the benefits of posting pictures like that outweighs the negative effects of them. If that makes sense, right? And again, outside of that, I'm neutral. I'm very neutral. I'm not picking sides. I'm very neutral.
Yeah,
on this.
I'm not either. I'm just saying, like, whether you're, the president of the United States or anybody else, there's just so much to be said for how you couch things. Right. How you phrase things.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so NASDAQ's still coming down here. Look at the NASDAQ drop. We are falling in the NQ. We are falling down. NASDAQ is dipping here. Oil is ripping up. NASDAQ is falling down right now as we speak. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, markets are kind of sketchy. Again, I see Kuwait's PM will talk about how the United Arab Emirates is leaving OPEC affects the oil cabinet. So I do see that news coming out here. But aside from that, I mean, maybe traders are still digesting SoFi news, but it's a little quiet ahead of the FOMC meeting today. Very strange.
A question. Do you guys think that UAE leaving OPEC will inspire any other nations to leave? Like, is this the beginning of like the dissolution of OPEC? Just curious what y'all's opinion is.
I think it probably will. At least I don't know if it's the dissolution of OPEC, but I think it will. I think we might see some nations start trying to do a similar thing, depending on how this turns out. Should I short the market right now? I'm really tempted to short right here, guys. I'm very tempted to short this. I don't know if I should, but I'm really tempted to.
Take a chance.
Yeah, I do think a range-bound trade though makes more sense today, but we'll see.
How's Bitcoin? Man, it's in the works. It's the next big thing, so I've heard.
Yeah. Oh no. Range.
Yeah, I don't know. Are you going to short it, or are you still thinking about it?
I'm still thinking about it. Again, here's a question for the chat right now. Do you think Jerome Powell gives up his board seat today? Do you think he announced he's going to step down from the FOMC board today? I think that's a big question. Will Powell give up his board seat? Will he step down from the FOMC board today? Or will he delay this decision into the future? Will he announce it today? Will he refuse to comment on this today? Which I think there's a chance he does refuse to comment on this. Or will he give up his board seat? That's the question. Does he give up his board seat? I see yes, no, yes, no.
It all depends on how fed up he is with the stress, with constantly being under scrutiny and under pressure.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think he's getting old.
Just not being the head would probably change that some.
Yeah, for sure. The board seat just allows him to still kind of control it a little bit, is what it is.
Gives him a sphere of influence.
Yeah. All right, so market's coming back down. Oil's popping higher here. Let's see what happens. But yeah, I am in... I did go ahead and jump in one small trade here. It's a small trade. We'll see what happens. But we did jump in shorting the NASDAQ here. We will look for more of a range-bound trade today, though. So we will look to kind of range-bound this. And look at oil still jumping here. So oil still popping higher. We're about flat on this, though. Maybe I'll add to this if we get into some good stuff. And again, we don't really have any big major economic reports today. And so we got durable goods and other stuff, but the big one is going to be the FOMC rate decision going live at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's going to be the big one. Again, oil is popping higher here. I'm assuming the NASDAQ is going to be coming down. But again, I don't see any big catalyst driving oil prices down. I see oil still back up to 103s for WTI crude. Again, Brent crude is pretty freaking elevated today as well here. Here's Brent right here. It's at 115s. And if I refresh this, it might actually be, yeah, it's at 114.50 basically, but it hit highs earlier today at 115.20. So it did hit 115s this morning. Oil's continuing to rise. The president's tweet 2 hours ago, I don't know if it necessarily helped anything going on. And yeah, 28,000 today, but Jerome will warm up the new Fed chair.
Oh, yeah, state of transition.
Yeah. So Plasma, you're missing what I'm actually talking about regarding him resigning. What I'm talking about, his 4-year term as chairman ends May 2026, May 15th to be specific. But he has a 14-year term as Fed governor. It does not expire until January of 2028. Now, the standard is he gives up his board seat, and as if he stays on as board of the governor. If he stays on as governor, after stepping down as chair, he retains a vote that can serve as kind of a influence over the Fed for traditional monetary policy. But so that's going to be a question. What? If he remains on the board until 2028, he denies the president the opportunity to appoint a new, more potentially aligned governor to that seat, and maintains the current balance of the 12 voting members is what it is, right? So his term's ending in May. This is his last FOMC decision. But if he stays on the Fed board, he will have influence over them still. Because if he leaves, the president's going to appoint a more friendly, probably a more dovish, person in place.
Makes me think he's going to stay then, honestly.
I don't think he will. The standard is that he gives it up. Right, so the standard is that he does not stay on. Yeah, the standard is that he not stays on. He might say, or go ahead, Britt. What's your question?
I was gonna say you don't think he cares enough about blocking his influence on the Fed?
I think he cares about it, but he wants to follow procedure, is what I think he does. And I think the only roadblock to him giving up that board seat has been he hasn't commented on it yet, and so I think he does give it up personally. I think he's going to give it up, but. Okay. I think it depends on number one. Warsh,
kind of guy.
Yeah, Warsh is set to be sworn to be voted in today at 10 a.m. And so again, I do expect the reporters to ask Jerome Powell this question regarding the board seat today. It doesn't mean Powell's got to answer it, so it doesn't mean we're going to get an answer regarding this today. But I do expect them to, at the very least, ask him this question and pressure him and press him a little bit, since Warsh is set to be voted in today at 10 o'clock. And so with Warsh coming in, that's going to be a natural question that I think they ask Powell is, yo, what you doing with your board seat? And that's going to influence where monetary policy goes this year. Warsh is much more dovish. So when Warsh comes in, he's going to be more dovish. And so, yeah.
What is the difference? I mean, and if I'm putting you on the spot, I apologize. What's the difference in the duties and powers between the governor of the board and the chair?
Well, the governor gets
if he's
one
filling
vote.
Both roles,
Yeah. The governor. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm gonna look this up to make sure I don't get it wrong. Okay. Yeah. So the chair of the Federal Reserve and the other members of the Board of Governors are equals, but in terms of influence and structural role, the chair holds much more power. So a formal vote on a purely numerical basis, the chair has one vote, just like the other 6 governors in the 5 voting reserve banks. But in the history of the power, right, the chair has never been outvoted in the history of the Federal Reserve on major policy decisions. And so there's a standard to go with, like the chair. They set the agenda, lead the discussions, negotiate a consensus before the vote. But both the chair and governor have voting rights that are permanent. Like, they don't switch out, unlike like regional Fed presidents who rotate their voting seats annually. Okay. So basically the chairman has more influence. So we're in this trade right now. We're losing a little bit here, but markets, I do believe they're going to be rangy and kind of sideways today, guys. It is Powell's last day as chairman. So today is absolutely Powell's last day as chairman, as 100%. It's Powell's last day. Yeah. Absolutely, it's Powell's last day.
Do you have the sad walking away music from the Hulk going?
I might play it when he's doing his speech, guys. I might play it. I'm not going to, don't worry. But I might. Maybe. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
Stick around and find out.
Yeah, stick around, guys. We'll see what happens here, you know. Yeah. And again, SoFi does have earnings here today. So I'm not going to hold this. Oil is kind of slowed down a little bit, but we'll see what happens with all this stuff going on, man. Again, the Fed rate decision today is going to be crucial. I mean, again, I expect when the statement comes out today, guys. When the statement comes out, I am down on this trade. I'll probably end up cutting it right here and just waiting. When the statement, we did make a decent amount of money yesterday on this account, but I expect when the statement comes out them to stress inflation. Let me look at our poll. So we're 51.50 here. Imagine they announce Powell staying on. Dude, that would be chaos too, bro. I think the question is if they announce Powell staying on, which is not going to freaking happen. But if they did, would markets react good or bad to that? Positive or negative, bullish or bearish from that? I think they would react somewhat negative because it means higher rates potentially for longer. And maybe that's what you want, but I think markets in general want easing. They want lower interest rates. And so, yeah, if they do not announce, if they don't announce Powell leaving, I think markets are going to be chaotic for sure. Yeah, SoFi is out. They're reacting really negatively from this. They're down a couple dollars a share on an $18 stock. So SoFi is actually really red from this. But look at oil. Here's the NASDAQ here. So yeah, SoFi is down a lot.
Also, these tracking charts remind me of a heart rate monitor.
Which tracking charts?
Yeah, I mean, just watching the ups and downs of the market reminds me of like a heart rate monitor.
I mean, that's kind of what it is, bro. It moves on emotion. Markets move on emotion. And so, like, that's kind of what's going on here is markets are just kind of going up and down.
It's the heartbeat of the market, huh?
Yeah, that's right. Hey, that's kind of how it is, And so...
That's pretty cool, actually, if you think about it that way.
Well, it's all rumors and stuff like that, so it really is kind of like just a back and forth of sentiment swings, like everything, It's just markets kind of going up and down, and people, buyers and sellers battling it out is a good way to look at it. And again, chat, let me ask you this. So I think I asked the chat already. Let's see. If Jerome Powell does leave... If Jerome Powell does stay on, which is not going to happen. Bull or bear? Put it up in chat right now. Are you bullish or bearish for the Fed meeting, actually, is probably a better one. Are you bullish or bearish for today's Fed meeting, guys? Let me know.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how people would react if he did leave.
He's going to be leaving. Today's his last FOMC. I don't think he's going to stay on as chairman. Bull, bearish, bear, bull. If he stays on, we're going down bigly. Yeah, I think so as well. Bull. Yeah, I think if he stays on, we're dropping.
I meant vacating his governor's seat as well, is what I was talking about.
Yeah. Vacating his governor's seat. If he stays on as Fed governor, that might get us a bearish reaction.
Yeah,
like we might get a pretty bearish reaction if he vacates his governor's seat as well. So
yeah, I didn't know they were called Japanese candlesticks, Sam, but I did know they were candlesticks. I just meant the graph or chart as a whole. I don't know what you call it, honestly, like the whole.
Yeah. Will Powell be hawkish or dovish today during the speech? So everybody already knows what Powell's going to do today. We're pausing rates today, but the attention is going to pivot to what he says during his actual speech here. What he says during his actual speech is going to be obviously the most important thing. The most important thing. That's what people are going to pivot to. That's what attention is going to pivot to. That's what everything's going to pivot to. Is what does his actual speech do? Or what does his actual speech say? Will he have hawkish tone, dovish tone, neutral tone? I think it'll be somewhere between hawkish and neutral, personally.
Just what sentiment does he put out with his farewell speech or whatever?
Right, exactly. Like what he says during the speech is going to matter. Again, everybody kind of already expects him to pulse rates. That's not a question. It's just going to be whether he's hawkish or dovish, whether he gives up his board C. That's what everybody's naturally going to pivot to. Real quick, here's Microsoft, guys. So are y'all bullish or bearish on Microsoft earnings today? We do have Microsoft earnings live after the bell today. So we do have Microsoft earnings. We do have Google earnings. We do have Meta earnings. We do have Amazon earnings after the closing bell. So we got a lot of stuff going on after the bell today that's relevant for markets as well. So not only do we have the FOMC decision, we have big earnings here going live. And so, yeah, we'll see what happens here, but
I'm going to go.
It could be
Microsoft.
Bullish for Microsoft. Yeah, I mean, if we take a look at Microsoft's long-term trend here, Microsoft has been, they've had a tough year. Yeah, they've had a tough year for Microsoft. Actually, technically they're green a little bit on the year, but they went all the way up to 555s mid 2025, and they're all the way back down to 420s here. So they've had a tough 6 months, I guess is a better way to put it. But over the last, few weeks, month or so, they have had a resurgence back up. And this is a similar thing to like Meta, very similar thing. Amazon is breaking all-time highs. And Google has been much more resilient than that. But Microsoft and Meta look pretty similar in this regard. Although I would say Microsoft looks the worst because it's getting caught in the software apocalypse that has been going on. So software stocks have been scared, nervous,
I was going to say
dropping.
Their trends are look similar for different reasons, right?
Right. No, 100%. Yeah, their trends have just they're just different. It's just different moves, brother. It's just different moves. Yeah. So it's just different. It's a different move.
Also, I'm sorry, Colin. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. It's all right.
It was kind of silly, but honestly, Colin. Every time somebody calls Jerome Powell J Powell, it just makes me think of him as a Jersey Shore character.
Oh, bro, I call him J Powell. I call him Big Papa half the time, dude. Freaking Big Papa Jerome Powell stepping down. It's the end of an era. It's a moment in time. He's stepping down. We'll see what happens, but yeah. SoFi stock just getting dumped on today, though, man. Is anybody interested in buying up SoFi right here? Anybody interested in actually buying this up? I don't know if I am, dude. I'm a little sketched out by this. Yeah, top 3 FOMC meeting today for sure.
You might have already covered this, but what is the impetus behind their stock, their drop in stock price?
Yeah, hold on, real quick. Iran has warned that continued U.S. maritime piracy will soon be met with, quote, practical and unprecedented military action, according to a high-ranking security source told Press TV. So we did see this news just come out here, guys. A little bit sketchier for sure, but this news did just drop. You can see it right here. Yeah, so this news did just come out today. That Iran has warned that continued maritime piracy will soon be met with practical and unprecedented military action. We are short right now, so we are short. We are green on the day here. I did jump back in a short here. So we are shorting this right now on Trade-O-Vape. I want to watch oil as well, but we're green here with a couple contracts. I just want to see if we break down a little bit more. We can hold the rest break even. But yeah, SoFi is tanking. No, I know SoFi is down significantly here today. Like SoFi is down big. Is Robinhood getting rugged? Robinhood is down a lot. Yeah, Robinhood is down to 73s here, man. And Robinhood has really had a... I'm going to continue to just ride this down, I think, guys. Robinhood is all the way down to 73s. If we look at it, Robinhood has had a tough 12 months as well. Robinhood down to $73 a share. And this is weird because I almost want to buy Robinhood up. Because Robinhood, when the PDT rule goes away, Robinhood might gain...
Boom.
Yeah, it might boom a little bit, no? Talk me out of that, guys. Talk me out of that. But...
And again, you may have already said this and I just didn't hear it, but why do you think like SoFi and Robinhood are down?
Earnings. SoFi basically came in flat with earnings, which for tech and markets right now, that's not what they want at all. So SoFi might be just down from that type of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I probably should have known something that basic, but...
Yeah, SoFi just came in flat, which is not good right now for... I mean, there's more to it than that, of course. But it came in basically flat for EPS. Yeah, it just came in basically flat for EPS. I'll have to look at what Robinhood's numbers were.
Okay.
Yeah, but Robinhood earnings missed. Crypto hurts revenue as well, with crypto being down so much. So Bitcoin being down so much hurt revenue for Robinhood, and it missed some of its earnings as well. So
Okay. Oh, hold on a second. Oh,
I don't think the PDT rule helps platforms like Hood. Yeah, but Robinhood collects a spread difference. It's how they have zero commission, is because they profit a little bit from the spread. And so more active trades on the platform makes them profit more spread, and you know, the end result is more profits for them, I think. All right, so we're still riding this down here in trades. I'm gonna take a little bit off right here, unload a little bit more right here, but it is past 8 o'clock right now. Again, I'm trading ranges today. I'm gonna get out right here at the bottom of this range and just cut this and wait now. But we do have durable goods releasing. Something might have just influenced markets. I don't know if it's necessarily macro policy, but we did just dip. Oil's pretty stagnant though, so it looks stock related to me. Let me check breaking news. German CPI did show up just now at 2.9%, as expected 0.6%. So I do see German CPI
yeah,
and inflation data. I see Google is introducing tools to import AI chat history into Gemini from other AI providers. And Google's been doing great. Although it is red on the day. NVIDIA. Huh?
That was just funny. It's like Google's been doing great. Although it's not doing so good now.
well, it's down on the day, but it's not down that much. What I'm talking about is if I look up a daily chart on Google, Google opened the year at $150. It is currently at $350 today. So relative to 12 months ago, Google has done really good. You know,
and some
really,
people say 300 is more than 150, but just the contrast between, like, the way you said that was just funny. Like, it's been doing great. It's red now though.
It's red on the day, but you know, that doesn't mean too much right now. Yeah. John, look at these weekly, monthly, quarterly. Hood looks good, but have to, yeah. I don't know if I trust the Google economic data today. We'll see, but again, SoFi earnings are out.
Economic data is always exactly as expected, and how German of them.
Yeah, it is SoFi earnings day. Like I said, I don't know what we're gonna get with SoFi moving forward here. SoFi got really big, but unfortunately, it's been a struggle here. It's down to 1670s for SoFi, so it's just been a struggle. It's been a struggle. Hey, if we look at SoFi of the year, I like SoFi stock. And it's green over the last year, but, you know, the way it's behaved over the last few months, I don't know. I'm just not a fan. I don't know if I'm in this anymore. I don't think I am. I think I sold this a while back. Yeah, I'm not in. Actually, no, I am in this. Not enough to really care too much about this, but. All right, guys. And it's gone. Buffett said he was going to miss the boat on Google again. He wasn't going to miss the boat on Google again. Visa's moved today. Yeah, here's Visa. So Visa, big gap up from their earnings here. Visa seemed to do pretty good on their earnings report. They posted, or no, it was Visa yesterday. SoFi posted 12 cents. Humana posted BDPSB revenue. AbbVie BDPSB revenue. CAR had earnings here, which is the recent squeeze stock. But it doesn't even freaking matter because this stock is just down. People are scared shitless of this stock right now because it's gone down so much, to be honest. So, yeah, this one freaking dumped. Yeah, Powell stay till the investigation is complete unless Trump drops the case again. I think the case is done though, no? I think with Warsh coming in, you know. Yeah, as of April 24th, the Department of Justice has dropped its criminal investigation into Powell. The probe concerning costs for Fed headquarter renovation was closed by U.S. Attorney Janine Pirro, who stated the Fed's Inspector General would handle the inquiry instead. The move is seen as a way to clear the path for the Senate confirmation of Warsh. So yeah, apparently like I said, the Department of Justice probe is done. And so that's why, like, I'm wondering if what happens here with all this stuff. Yeah. Yeah, really interesting markets today, though. NASDAQ continuing to dip. But it looks like I got out of my short at a pretty decent time. I mean, we got out around here. And so it looks like we got out right in time. I do believe we might have choppy range today, guys. I do think we're going to have choppy range today. Yeah, I'm trying to see if AWS has been having issues. What's the percentage of rates today? There's no chance of a rate cut. We're not cutting rates today. That's just not happening. We're going to pause rates today. Attention is going to pivot to what Jerome Powell says during the actual press conference. So we are going to be pausing rates today, almost certainly. You know, that's what I think. So yeah, we're going to be pausing rates today. Yeah, it's FOMC day though, man. Y'all just be ready because, yeah, it's FOMC day, major earnings day. The day could really get wild. And then tomorrow we have GDP and PCE inflation data going live. So tomorrow we have GDP and PCE inflation. It's not small. These are very large releases. And yeah, so PCE is from March. So this is going to be PCE data from March. Very relevant. I think Jerome Powell is going to be neutral today, almost certainly. So I do believe Jerome Powell is going to be neutral today, almost certainly. But time will tell, guys. Time will tell.
Dr. Crypto, diesel is about $6.20 a gallon in Vegas. Everything else is in the $5 range.
Yeah, Chava, we do not have the summary of economic projections today. So the summary of economic projections dropped last time, also known as the dot plot update, where we see where the different members think the rate path is going. That is not going to be today. That happens every other meeting. So we got that last time for the summary of economic projections. We are not going to be getting that today. So no dot plot today, brother. No dot plot today. It would have been interesting to end it on a dot plot note regarding Jerome Powell, but yeah, we're not getting that today. Also, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button today, guys. We'll see what we get, but SoFi earnings, really interesting here for SoFi. We'll see what happens, but
I mean, we like you guys a lot. Like us back.
Yeah, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We appreciate the love, chat.
Join the Discord, all that good stuff. We need you guys. You know,
we start at 6:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 7:15 market time every day.
And we appreciate you.
I'm gonna call you, what is it, Smee from Hook? You know,
it's me.
Yeah, that's it. That's your new name. But yeah, Nasdaq's choppy today. That's what I expected, is just chop. Like, I did expect chop today. Yeah.
I'm sorry, since you honestly, just since you made the reference, remember the pirate they threw in the boo box in
yeah, that was a female, actually.
That was Glenn Close.
Yeah. I saw that. Yeah, the Nasdaq's still dipping here, guys. 7:15 chops, yeah. Yeah, it's a weird day here. Again, SoFi earnings are probably dragging market, I don't know about SoFi stock here. SoFi is currently at 16s. It seems so cheap to me right here, though. But the question is, where's lending going? I think all the Mag 7 reporting earnings today will make a spectacle, and tomorrow. Yeah, and then again, tomorrow we got big GDP, PCE inflation data. And then I think Friday is some type of National Labor Day holiday. It's not the U.S. Labor Day, but it's yeah.
I mean, at that price, maybe you should buy some of it. I mean, if you lose, you're not going to lose like a lot.
Yeah, should I buy some SoFi here? I don't know.
Is the juice worth the squeeze? You know,
I'm already in SoFi. Should I double down on it and add more? I'm really not down that much, all things considered, for SoFi. So I guess it could be worse here with me and SoFi. But should I buy SoFi, chat? Let me know right now. Should I buy SoFi? Put yes or no in chat right now.
Buy it.
Buy it? Buy SoFi? I don't know, brother. Maybe, maybe I should. Maybe I should.
No, I just mean like I don't know how much you're down already, but at those prices, I just if you lose, that sucks. But it's not like it's going to break you.
Yeah. No, 100%.
And you could potentially make a lot more.
I see no, yes, hold, no, yeah, sure, buy tech, buy now, regret later. I like it. Yes, you guys are saying, your gut is saying no, I wouldn't.
Yeah, but what is my gut saying?
Buy at $13. Yes, buy so I can short it. Yes for a long, no for short. Discipline today. Oil's coming down though. Look at oil dip. So oil did just fall down here a little bit, guys. So oil did just dip a little bit here. You can see oil come back. Here's the 200 exponential on oil. The NASDAQ is not really, like if you look at the NASDAQ here, the NASDAQ's not really moving that much. NASDAQ is still very flat, very choppy. Your gut is degen and wants to gamble. Hey, you might be right, brother. You might be right. Maybe my gut is a degenerate. That's definitely possible. Is my gut a degenerate in chat right now? Let me know.
Dude, it totally is. You should hear the things your gut says about you.
Dude, my gut speaks nonsense. It speaks nonsense sometimes. My gut's like, do it now.
You have a conspiratorial gut. It's trying to overthrow you.
Yeah, it's like, do it now, or I'm giving you a stomach ache right now.
Oh, you don't want to listen, huh? Here come the squirts.
Yeah, do it now, or stomach ache. You're getting one. Again, should I buy oil here? Oil right at 103s right now. Oil at 103s. Not really any breaking news. The Total CEO says tanker with company cargo exited the Persian Gulf. We had some other earnings like APH drop, German CPI drop, but the news has been quiet today. Should I buy oil here? I don't know. The NASDAQ is kind of starting to fall down. If you look over here at the NASDAQ, it did just dip a little bit. Do it for Narnia. Bull till Jerome Powell speech. Do it now or I'll evacuate the bowels. That's right. I should have bought this 200 exponential. Look at the 200 EMA, this yellow indicator right here, guys. 200 exponential. We bounced exactly at that. Literally exactly at the 200 exponential moving average here. So,
yeah, I'll be back in a second.
All right. Yeah, I don't know what to do today. I mean, I've been trading. We are green on the day, nicely enough. So we're pretty nicely green. We have brought ourselves back into the... We started this account like this. Look at this account. We started this account a little red, and that's okay. We have climbed ourselves back up from the mountain of red in this account. Look at the mountain of red that we have fought our way back from. We were red, slowly green. All right. Slowly green. I don't know if you guys can see this green, but we are now effectively green in this account right now. You love to see it. We've done it. We've brought ourselves back into the profits. And I believe we can do this. Better prep to buy the dip when the NASDAQ opens. Yeah, is the SoFi earnings call still going on? If I do buy it, it's going to be after the call. Hold on, let me check something here. Is the SoFi earnings call still going on, guys? Let me know. Somebody let me know. Oil's still dipping. Yeah, we somehow broke into the profits on this account. It took us a little while. Oil back down under the 200 exponential, though. Yeah, news has been a little slow here today. I guess everybody's just waiting for the big earnings. I do expect, if there's a day, listen, chat, a lot of the time ahead of big decisions. Could be earnings, could be Fed decisions, could be press conferences. A lot of the time ahead of big catalysts in markets. I think there's one thing that just makes sense, and that is trading a range here, right? Trading in a range. The market's apprehensive, I believe. The market's going to be apprehensive. They're going to be nervous, I think. Not an investment professional, don't copy me. But I think markets are going to be nervous today. I think what makes the most sense for a trading strategy today, leading into these catalysts, so like this morning, not after the catalyst, but before the catalyst drop, which is this morning, I think the thing that makes the most sense to me personally is just to kind of wait for a range trade. You know, I might buy bottoms, sell tops today. I might look to attack a very specific range. I believe we're going to chop and stay in a range until the FOMC decision, unless we get some news coming out. Now, we can always get some escalating geopolitics influencing things. So we could always escalate relative to where we are now, and that could move markets certainly. So you do want to still watch news wires and stuff. And we're going to cover it all here if it happens. But I think the thing that makes the most sense today is to trade choppiness. Again, let me know. Do you guys agree with that? Do you guys agree with that? I think the thing that makes the most sense today is to trade chop, trade sideways, trade ranges. Look for easy ranges to attack and then attack them is my plan on the day. Again, let me know. Let me know.
Plans generally seem to pan out, so, you know, go with it.
Yeah. Hey, we did get a donation. Hey, I appreciate your content. I was wondering if you can look at silver. Yes, friend, I can. Silver down on the day, a little bit weaker. Silver's been in a big pullback from all the craziness earlier this year. It's just kind of settled. Silver's settling back into a range, in my opinion. I appreciate the donation, friend.
Yeah, thank you.
But I do think that silver is just kind of settling back into a range here. I think silver has had some wild swings, and I think silver has been in this sideways range. I would look for it to either break over 80 or under 70 to influence things. We have a longer term moving average down here, but I think or go ahead, Britt.
I was going to say, just speaking of that, Sato says silver and gold will suffer during the Fed. Do you think that's likely?
Do I think silver and gold will suffer during which Fed?
I don't know. He just said during Fed.
Let me see.
Sorry.
But no, I appreciate the donation here. So gold and silver are going to want rate cuts. They're going to want dovishness, right? They're going to move the best most of the time with like low interest rate environment. And so with Warsh stepping in, I think gold and silver could suffer from the Iran conflict, because the Iran conflict might raise the price of oil, or is raising the price of oil, obviously. And that's going to cause inflation, and that means less potential rate cuts, and that is worse for gold and silver. Gold and silver generally tend to rise when interest rates are cut, but it's not the only factor. You know, but generally speaking, yes, gold and silver want rate cuts, and war stepping in is more dovish, but with the conflict going on, it's not an easy path for gold and silver. I appreciate the donation though. Thank you, friend. I appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Yep, thanks for the love. Yeah. Somebody on here says, I think Fed means FOMC meeting, so maybe that's what he meant.
Yeah, the Fed meeting's the FOMC meeting, the Federal Open Market Committee.
Yeah.
Long the NASDAQ and leave it alone. Yeah, I guess. Again, is the SoFi call still going on? Let me see. Yeah, I think the SoFi call is still going on. Yeah, I wanted to check that, but long NASDAQ and leave it. Again, looking at our poll today, there's 54% bulls out of over 560 votes. 54% bulls versus 46% bears today. And I don't know if I'm really trusting either. It depends on what happens after the closing bell today is going to influence things. Obviously, the big earnings are going to shock the market. That's the big thing that you probably want to focus on, is what do these earnings look like today? Like, what do these earnings look like? How relevant are they going to be for future market moves over the next quarter until the next earnings season? We do have NVIDIA earnings that are going to be going live mid-May here. So leading into all that stuff, it's going to be big and relevant, and we'll see what happens here today. We'll see what happens. So just be careful. Yes. All right, guys. The earnings come out after the closing bell at 4 o'clock today. So after the closing bell at 4 o'clock today, earnings release. And so, yeah, it's all after the closing bell today. Yeah. Yeah. Familiar pattern. Polar Bear, if Iran's military is so defeated, how are they going to use unprecedented military action against us? Well, again, it goes back to which side is saying which. They are never going to say they're defeated. We are always going to say they're defeated. They're going to say they're going to be superheroes in their own verbiage. They are going to be Dr. Evil in our verbiage. All right. The truth is somewhere in the middle. The truth is somewhere in the middle. Look at oil surge here, though, guys. So oil is moving higher here. Look at oil jump. Look at the NASDAQ. Something just happened to make NASDAQ dip pretty quickly. You can see that big downwick in oil. I don't know if it's a tweet. Let me check. Something just happened here. Hold on. White House official says Trump met energy company executives Tuesday, discussed domestic production, Venezuela oil futures, natural gas, and shipping. Yeah, so... yeah. Let me check for a Trump tweet. I think it's just the news on him meeting with those guys. It could not be anything, honestly, realistically here. The last thing I see, again, the big thing that's influencing markets right now, really, guys, if you haven't seen this, about 4 hours ago, Trump tweeted this. No more Mr. Nice Guy. He said, Iran can't get their act together. They don't know how to sign a non-nuclear deal. They better get smart soon. No more Mr. Nice Guy. And so that is what's going on this morning. Markets are reacting to it, but we'll see what happens today. It's an interesting day. Let me fix my green screen here. There you go. All right, guys, listen, in 5 minutes, we do have durable good orders going live in 5 minutes. Durable good orders going live in 5 minutes here. Chat, so in 5 minutes, we do have durable good orders. I don't think this is going to move markets. We will cover it anyway. But in 5 minutes, we got core durable good orders. They're expected at 0.4%. Headline expected at 0.4%. Last time, it was negative for headline at negative 1.3%, and core only showed up at 0.8%. Either way, they're expecting 0.4% for both headline and core. We also have building permits, housing start data also going live in 6 minutes. Again, right after the opening bell today, we have the Bank of Canada rate decision. It's expected to show up at a pause. They're expected to pause rates at 2.25% today for the Bank of Canada. We got Atlanta Fed GDP at 10. We have Warsh getting voted in potentially today at 10 o'clock. Look at oil jump up a little bit here, guys. Look at oil jump a little bit. Volume did increase, though, over the last 3 minutes regarding oil here. If you look at oil volume, the volume did push up some here for oil. But it's hard to figure out whether it's catalyst driven or not. So we will see. Time will tell here today, guys. Time will tell. But again, durable good orders going live. But again, a White House official said Trump met with company executives Tuesday, discussed domestic production, Venezuela, oil futures, natty gas, and shipping. Also, Iran warns of unprecedented military action over the ongoing U.S. seizures of Iran-linked ships, according to a press TV citing sources. And so, again, Iran has warned of unprecedented military action here. Is probably what moved markets just now. It didn't really move NASDAQ or anything like that, but it did push oil a little bit higher here as Iran has warned of unprecedented military action against continued U.S. seizures of Iran-linked vessels, state-run press TV citing senior Iranian official sources. Oil, again, when we look at this, is elevated today overall and in the last 3 minutes. Got as high as almost 104s today, hit 103s. This is oil right here, so you can see the big green nature of oil this morning. Yeah, markets are really influenced and moving here, so we'll see what we get today. But very interesting day with all the catalysts going on today. We got the Fed meeting. We got all the stuff going on today. Really interesting day. Do me a favor, guys. Hit the like button. Hit the notifications bell. Bump those likes up here, chat, if you haven't already. Hit the like button. Yeah. Hit the notification bell.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be the guy to put the hornet's nest, but I kind of doubt that statement from Iran, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
really
like matter. I said, truth is, I mean, I think they are prepared. Like, I think they can respond with something, you know?
Yeah, no, I mean, there's something, I'm sure, but
yeah, I mean, they're beating their chest a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, they're trying to influence public,
opinion.
You know, yeah, that's what they're trying to do. They're just trying to influence everything there in that regard.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right.
So We will see what we get, but what looks like bull or bear. I mean, oil and NASDAQ are really very rangy right now. NASDAQ did just jump up a little bit though, but oils did just dip down some here. So let's see if we got any breaking news sources that are continuing to influence markets. Is everything I just covered is what it is. Again, President did post 4 hours ago, Iran can't get their act together. They better get smart soon. He slammed them over stalled nuclear talks. Hey, dude. I love you, bud. Have a good day, dude. Yeah, we'll see what the NASDAQ does. NASDAQ, again, I expect range today, guys. Unless we get more geopolitical news, I expect range-bound movement today. And again, we got durable good orders going live in about a minute and a half. Again, we have durable goods. I don't know if it's going to be a big... I don't think it's going to move markets at all, really. But we will watch it like it does. But durable good orders, building permits, housing start data drops in 2 minutes. So building permits, durable goods, housing start data drops in 2 minutes. We'll see what we get. We'll see what we get. But it's time. All right, guys, we got about a minute left. About 1 minute. And Bitcoin, guys, has been a little bit more resilient. I'm still kind of tempted at shorting markets. We have a pretty good green day here. All right, here's the data release. We have 45 seconds here. Oil still pushing higher. NASDAQ still dropping here. But yeah, if you look at Bitcoin, guys, Bitcoin still sitting at 77,000 here. So Bitcoin has made a little dip this morning, actually, now that I look at it. It was higher when I first looked at it this morning. It's dropped since then. But it's at 77,000. Moving back and forth. I think Bitcoin wants easing. We'll see if this says easy. Look at the NASDAQ dip here. All right, so here we go. Durable good orders are set to drop, but oil just popped and NASDAQ still falling down. All right, look at the NASDAQ dip here. I should have shorted, man. All right, here's durable good orders right now, chat.
All right.
Look at the NASDAQ and oil rip here, though. I have to look at the catalyst to see if there's any other catalyst here. All right, durable goods showed up at 0.8% stronger than expected. Core durable goods showed up at 0.9% stronger than expected. Look at oil, though, guys. Oil's back up to 104s right now. So durable goods all came in higher than expected. 0.8% for headline, 0.9% for core. Those were both higher than 0.4% expected on both. But look at the NASDAQ dip and look at oil rip here. So something is going on right now. Again, Iran state media did warn of unprecedented military action if seizures continue. But I don't know if this is the durable good orders affecting markets here, but something just happened, man. Oil did rise. It could be markets getting baked into this, but look at the NASDAQ fall. So NASDAQ is falling. Interesting here, man. Durable goods, again, 0.8% versus negative 1.3% previously for headline. Wholesale inventories also showed up at 1.4 versus 0.8%. Housing starts showed up at 1.5 versus 1.38 expected. So those are stronger than expected as well. But man, NASDAQ did dip here a little bit. Oil popped. Oh, oil's now over 104. Look at oil right here. Crude is now over 104. And the NASDAQ continues to fall here. Look at the NASDAQ on the left side of the screen here. So the NASDAQ here, chat, is falling down here as oil rises here. So very interesting. We'll see what's going on here, but yeah. Yeah, again, Iranian state media. This is probably the headline that's pushing things. We covered this a couple different times already, but this is probably what's moving things here. Again, I'm gonna post this. Did I post it twice? I think I actually did. Here, I'll delete this one now. But yeah, look, this is probably what's moving markets here. The Iranian state media warns of unprecedented military action if seizures of Iranian-linked vessels continues. Previous closing price on the NASDAQ is right here at where this light blue line is. If you see this light blue line right here, relevant spot, that looks to be close to where we're bouncing here. I don't know why I drew this line here, but for whatever reason, it was good. But yeah.
At least you admit it.
Pushing. I don't know why I drew it there, but again, going back to what we did yesterday. for whatever reason is good. NASDAQ, again, dipping all the way down to 27,200s here. 27,200s. Durable goods did show up stronger than expected. Housing starts showed up stronger than expected from my looks here. You know, here was all that data right here, chat, for housing start, building permits, and all that stuff. So this is all the data right here.
So that's literally just how many new homes are being built in America?
Yeah, basically. Housing starts, building permits. It's all real estate data here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just housing starts is the number technically defined as the number of new residential construction projects that have begun for single-family homes, townhomes, and apartments.
Okay.
So, but oil up to 104s. Oil up to 104s. It's basically new homes being built, is what housing starts are. Like people starting to build house. What news source do you use without delay? Bro, I use a bunch of different ones. All right, 27,200s here. Look at oil still ripping higher here, though, man. I should have held that short. John, the red line was a previous low today. I don't think I drew this today, though, to be honest here. This red line that we just bounced off of. I think I drew this yesterday, showing during the lesson yesterday regarding previous confirmation of support and resistance. I'm pretty sure that's where I drew the line yesterday. And again, it's a good example of I leave lines on my charts and they work. But yeah.
Just a happy coincidence, huh?
Yeah.
See you later, Sam. Have a good day.
Yeah, later, Sam. And then tomorrow we have PCE data at 8:30. So tomorrow we do have PCE data at 8:30. And again, it really could get interesting. We'll have to wait and see. But we'll see if we got a Fed rug pull today or what happens. But yeah. All right, so we are down to 27,200s here. Are y'all bullish or bearish leading into the Fed meeting? What's up, Jay? We'll have a V-shaped recovery after market opens. You think so? What does your mug say, John? It says, I don't need Google. My father knows everything.
Dude, my dad does know everything.
My children gave me this mug. Am I disappearing? Wait, I'm back. I feel like Marty McFly.
You're fading into the ether.
Right, I feel like Marty McFly at the end of Back to the Future right now. Fed meeting will go exactly as planned. All right, NASDAQ still breaking down here. Still breaking down. Oil at 104 still. And yeah, markets are just a little nervous here. Brent WTI futures still up on housing start data. But man, again, housing starts are up almost 11% month over month, which is one of the big stories here. I don't think this is from, like, people are saying this is from housing start data. I don't know, dude. Unless housing start data came out 15 minutes early, which I guess is possible. Most of these moves did not happen right at 8:30. They happened leading into 8:30 here. But maybe we did get a big green candle here on the housing data. Oil coming down some. Let's see if the NASDAQ starts to rise. Here's the previous closing price. Long NASDAQ. Check Microsoft. Good luck. Ghost John. We should all be bears until midterms. Yeah, here's the NASDAQ jumping up a little bit. Here's oil dipping down. Let's check the news. All right, so we are getting a little bit of a rebound here. Maybe I should have bought the bottom of the range. I told you guys I think we're going to range-bound trade today. Yeah, I think we're going to range-bound today. I don't know for sure, but I think so. Leading into all these big decisions. Bullish for NASDAQ. Yeah, we'll see, guys. We'll see. Someone loading up all that oil. Yeah, I mean, oil dipped, NASDAQ pushed, but it's not a big dip considering the last 30, 40 minutes. I don't see any news causing this bounce in the oil dip. I think it's just normal flow of markets right now leading into everything is what I think this is. I think it's just a normal flow of things right now. Again, we can look at some levels to pay attention to and everything like that, but time will tell here. Time will tell. Hard to be bearish on longer term time frames, but that doesn't mean we don't have a down day. Yeah, I mean, longer term time frames look bullish. It depends on how we look at it though. Like an hourly chart looks very bullish. But we are up a lot. 180-day chart looks pretty bullish as well. I mean, everything basically since March has looked very strong in markets. We've had just big recoveries in markets over this period of time. If you look at the Nasdaq, it's just up a lot. So we've just had big recoveries. Again, we'll see what happens moving forward here. I think today's going to have a lot of influence over what the future brings for this type of stuff, you know. And so I do think today's going to matter a lot. But you know, well, you never freaking know, and we'll have to wait and see. Big story is SoFi being down a lot. So SoFi is down a pretty significant amount, a pretty sizable amount. Percentage wise, that's kind of scaring market. This is from US-Iran tensions. No, I saw the news earlier. It's more escalating news. It's looking like the ceasefire is going to break, I think is one of the things. But it's interesting because there's so many catalysts going on right now that markets don't know what to do, I think. And so, yeah, it's looking like tensions are obviously getting worse. It looks like the ceasefire is not going to hold necessarily here. It's looking like Iran does not want to get a deal done if it excludes them from nuclear stuff. And I think that's one of the stories today with geopolitics, obviously, is Iran's still not willing to play ball in terms of getting rid of their nuclear program. And that means that the ceasefire is unlikely to hold. More escalation might follow and more. So I think that's one of the big stories. But again, the other big story is Jerome Powell's FOMC decision.
Yeah, if they won't let go of that one, I mean, that is the point of contention for both sides, and neither one is going to let go of that, which makes me think that a deal will not get done.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's not looking like a deal's going to get done.
I hope I'm wrong, but like neither side is going to give on that particular issue.
Yeah,
I don't think it would take something severe, probably.
Yeah. No, 100%. Blockade is squeezing them. Something will break soon. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah. Blockade is squeezing them too. Yeah, we'll see, guys. We'll see. Again, it's an interesting day here. I don't know what we're going to get for the Fed meeting. But the Fed meeting is going to take up a big priority of it too, you know. Make the Izzies give up theirs too. Blockade is squeezing them. The blockade isn't real. It's kind of interesting where we could go with this. Yeah, we did bounce right here at the previous closing price on the Nasdaq here. So we did bounce right here at the previous close. We are starting to head back higher here.
I know the blockade is definitely squeezing them, like we talked about yesterday. Supposedly, and they may have already done so, I don't know, but supposedly they're very close to having to cap their wells.
Yeah, no, I think so too. You know. Yeah, I think so too. Will Powell have a mic drop moment? I don't think so. I think Powell's going to be pretty neutral. The question is, again, does Powell give up his board seat? Just to give you guys some context to this, his board seat matters. So his term as chairman ends May 15th. So in 2 weeks, basically, his term ends. But his term as Fed governor stays on until, I think, 2028. But the standard is that he gives that up as well. But if he does not give that up, it means that he'll have a little bit more influence over the future path for things, even if he steps down as chairman. If he does give it up, it means the president is able to come in and put like a more friendly vote in for himself, right? And so that's the big story of all of this is what happens in that way. And so we'll see what happens, but that is the big story of this today. The international trade numbers have anything to do with this? We had 87 billion.
Yeah, I was just reading that.
Yeah, the housing start data is influencing things too. There's credible news that the blockade is weakening Yeah, the 10-year, I mean, look, if we look at the 10-year treasury yields, 10 years are up a little bit today just because oil's elevated here. But they've been in a range. Markets are just getting more used to it. But again, you see 10-year yields are higher today just because oil has been up today as well. Oil rise is going to make more inflation potential, meaning higher for longer rate outcome most likely here is what we see. So yields are popping a little bit. But the NASDAQ is still rising here. Yeah, the NASDAQ is still rising.
Yeah, Shuckle, they might dump it in the Gulf, but that's still a loss of hundreds of millions of dollars. I mean, it doesn't matter, what they do with it.
Right. And at 10 o'clock today, guys, remember, Warsh is scheduled to get sworn in. Or not sworn in, voted in. So Warsh is scheduled to get voted in at 10 a.m., starting at 10 a.m. today by the Senate Banking Committee. So they're supposed to vote Warsh in at 10 o'clock. If they vote him in, like I said, I do expect them to ask Jerome Powell about his board seat today, and maybe he'll get an answer if Warsh gets voted in. Again, the lawsuit is effectively done with the subpoena with the Department of Justice regarding the Fed building. So Trump is scared. Yeah, I don't know about that. Europe is losing billions, though, because of the war. It's not just Iran. Yeah, well, China as well. China's losing money from this, too, for sure. You know China wants this to end as well, because China gets a lot of their oil from going through the Strait. They get, I mean, we don't really get
Most,
oil
I
from the
think,
Strait.
right?
Yeah, most of their oil. And so we don't really get oil from the Strait of Hormuz. China is the one that really wants this conflict to end.
Yeah.
Sounds like a potential day for FUD. Will be if he gives up his post, it's good for the dollar or not. If he gives up his board seat, I think that's a more dovish outlook for Fed policy, right? Do you guys agree with that? Like, if Jerome Powell, I mean, I think that's pretty obvious. It's kind of self-evident. But if Jerome Powell gives up his board seat, it's going to be more dovish for markets short term. We already have Warsh coming in. If Warsh comes in and Powell keeps his board seat, that kind of puts a roadblock in dovishness, so to speak, right? Because Powell's still going to have some sway. He's still going to have a vote in that regard in some ways. I think it goes from, if Powell keeps his board seat, like Dove versus Hawk Fed member votes is going to be about 3-7. Or it's going to be, or 3 out of 7, I think. If he gives up his board seat, it'll be about 4-7 pro Dove. And so I think him giving up his board seat is much more dovish for the Fed. Because, again, Powell gives up his board seat. Trump appoints a more dovish, friendly vote. And that dictates monetary policy a little bit more dovish. Is what I'm thinking here. But, yeah, that's what it looks like. I think he will give up his seat, personally. I don't know if it's going to be today, but I think he will give up his seat. Hormuz will never be the same again now that Iran wants to put a toll on it. The only solution is pipeline transferring oil by land, as the whole region is more vulnerable. I don't know, man. I don't know if we're ever going to go back to the pre-state, especially not anytime soon, just based off of differences, but I hope we do, personally.
I think it just depends on who actually ends up in control of it. I don't know that Iran will necessarily end up in control of it.
Yeah, I hope we do. I hope we get, is what it is. Like, I hope it does, but I understand the skepticism regarding it as well. I think he keeps his board seat as an FU. Maybe he does. I don't know. Warsh may not cut either, as everyone knows it's the wrong move. I don't know. Warsh is generally cut friendly, not necessarily pro QE and printing. So Warsh might actually be, he's going to be more pro rate cuts than Powell. He might not print as much as the other side wants him to do, but he might cut, is what we've seen from him historically, and I think we've seen him reiterate that sentiment as well. So, biggest problem is insurance for tankers. Yeah, no, for sure. All right, so we are rejecting here. We have the 200 exponential and the NASDAQ right around the same spot. It's right around the same spot here. So it's right around the same spot. We'll see if this holds. But Warsh had the possible negative for Fed independence. U.S. isn't around the strait. So why would anyone accept the United States to run it? I don't know if they expect us to run it.
I didn't say it would be us. I just said I don't know if it'll end up being Iran. It might be
that's what I'm
conglomeration of nations, you know?
Right, exactly. So again, we did get housing start data earlier. U.S. home building surged in March. Housing starts rising almost 11% to a 1.5 million annual rate. This is the highest since December of 2025 and above forecast. Single-family starts climbed 9.7% to 1.03 million. Multifamily construction increased as well. Gains were seen across the region. But despite the rebound, warning signs remain. Building permits, which is a key forward indicator, fell to 1.37 million, the lowest since August, with the single-family permits down 3.8%. So builders are using incentives to attract buyers, but higher mortgage rates are still pushing things, you know. All right, guys, so NASDAQ is in a range still here, which is kind of what I expected from it today. We didn't reject here at the 200 EMA VWAP area, though. Oil's kind of frozen right now, and we are going to be trending towards the opening bell here today, so we'll see what we get, but... yeah, we're starting to dip down some. Yeah, this is Powell's last day. I'm kind of nervous about it, though. Like, we will see what we get, but I'm a little nervous about Powell's last day here. What do you guys think we get today? Military force to escort them is one thing, but the finance aspect is key. Wars was in when we had a financial crisis, so that speaks volume. Also, insurance must be crazy expensive for takers. Yeah, insurance is high. I mean, look, if we look at, there are some ways we can monitor the strait here, since I see a lot of people talking about the strait. Make sure this is recent here. Yeah, war insurance risk premium. War risk premium is 3.5%. Normal rate is 0.15%. Increase is 23.3x relative to normal here. 5 ships transiting it in the last 24 hours. Average daily volume is 68.3% of normal. So, yeah, I mean, it's still... obviously, Hormuz is still pretty close. Powell will be hawkish. I expect Powell to be neutral or hawkish today. I don't know 100% which one. But I do expect Powell to be somewhere in the middle here. Hey, what's up, Tiny? Happy Wednesday. Powell will be as hawkish as can absolutely be. You think so? I don't think he's going to be hawkish. I think he's going to be neutral here. So again, I'm looking at this comment right here. I think he's going to be neutral. I think he will try and dump markets like a bee.
You think he's going to be neutral just out of a sense of what professionalism, decorum, whatever?
I think he's just going to... I think he's going to stress the inflationary aspects of this Iran conflict and the risks to that. I think he's going to be more hawkish than dovish, you know, because I think, like, last time we had some weak labor data going into the Fed meeting, and I think this time, because of improvement in the labor data, this time we might see a little bit more hawkish Powell versus what we got last time, is what I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. I think we get a more hawkish Powell versus what we got last time. Just because, again, we've seen, yeah. Personally, that's what I think. What do you guys think? I mean, hawk or dove Powell? Let me know. All right, guys, we're going to get ready to potentially trade some of this here. But, yeah, we'll see. It is FOMC day. Hawkish or dovish Powell, guys? Let me know. Trying another NASDAQ long here. Biggest energy crisis in history. I don't know if China PMI is going to really move markets back flip. If he goes more hawkish as he is off of Department of Justice mess. I don't know if that's going to make him go more hawkish. I think the inflationary aspects of the Iran conflict might, though. I see hawkish. Probably going to see a draw if the sentiment is like this. Yeah, I think he's going to be neutral probably, but he might be more hawkish than expected. I might short the top of this range here again. We've already made some money in markets. We'll see if this holds, but yeah, here's the NASDAQ. I'm going to short a little pop here and just look for some range-bound trading to maybe get involved with. We'll take 5 contracts. We got a cushion on the day, so we can take a little bit larger size. See if we get a pullback down here to at least maybe like 200s, and then we can cut it. Is what we're looking at. He's just going to keep it simple and stable. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a pretty high chance that's true too. I think he's just going to be flat, neutral, refuse to commit, but also stress inflation risks. I think is what it is. Are you inversing me, Jay? Maybe, brother, maybe, man. I sometimes I just inverse the chat as a whole, you know. Although I do see oil starting to dip here. We'll see if it drags the NASDAQ down, but I do see oil starting to fall. Some, you know. All right, guys. We got the 200 EMA, the VWAP up there. We got 5 contracts here. We're pretty green on the day already, though, so we have a cushion. If JPOW keeps it real, well, then we'll be hawkish. Yeah, I mean, inflation aspects of the conflict might make more hawkish Fed for sure. I think that's pretty standard, though. I think, obviously, that's kind of what you get with all the inflation potential that we see right now with everything. Yeah, I'm in small. I just want to see if we dip down to, like, 220s, 200s maybe if we continue to get breakdowns. See if we keep riding this down, but I'll see. There we go. I'll take a little bit off here. Up about 100, maybe a little bit less. Got a, you know, a little cushion here on the day. We can ride this down maybe potentially. Look for a trend continuation maybe even here. Much time left until we have to the opening bell. All right, so the bear system worked. The bear sentiment worked here. I'm gonna cut a piece there and then let the rest ride down. I'm waiting to see if we can expand out of this range. Yeah, like I said earlier, guys, I'm attacking ranges today. I think with all the catalysts today, we have Jerome Powell, we have the FOMC meeting, we have 4 major tech stocks, or really it's more than that, releasing earnings after the close today. And so I think considering everything going on, I think it makes the most sense to just trade chop and be careful today. Again, I'm going to trade sideways neutral activity mostly. I'm not really I'm not really interested in trading super trends today and breakouts and anything like that. Not unless we get some news to come out that's going to influence things. Outside of that, I'm going to just be pretty careful. I might actually short a bounce here too, but I'm going to trade choppiness today if I can. We're green on the day though, mostly trading chop so far. So. See if we can short the top of this. I'm going to short this little bounce here. Lower my risk. See if we continue to push down. Maybe add some more to this too. I'd like 200 down there, to be honest. Like, I could see us coming down to 200, tapping that level. Maybe not breaking this low and then doing whatever. But we'll see if we add to this here. Usually big tech earnings days, we tend to drop, then towards the end of the day get bought back up. No, for sure. But I think the Fed meeting puts another question mark on things too, though. Right, with the Fed meeting, it's not just earnings, it's the Fed meeting, it's Jerome Powell's last. It's all the other stuff going on. So, yeah, that's just what I would be weary of here. You know?
Yeah, I'd be wary of it too.
Wary. Sorry, I don't know why I always say weary.
Well, I wasn't going to draw attention to it. I was just saying it so you'd pick up on it.
Yeah, the stream has corrected me a few different times. I don't know why I always say weary. I say weary.
Maybe because you're weary.
Like when I say averse, like risk averse, sometimes I say adverse. You know,
as an adverse effects.
Yes. Right.
Also, so, what's Nvidia doing right now?
Nvidia is. Look at oil though. Hold on, let me watch this trade. I am in a trade here.
Okay.
So Nvidia is at 213s right here. Here's Nvidia on the chart. So it's at 213s.
Okay. So it's kind of staying in place.
Yeah. Yeah, here. I'm going to probably cut this trade here, I think. I'm already green on the day. I'll give it 1 second, then we'll hold it right over our entry, but I'm already green. I'm already green. I've already made it enough. I don't want to get really greedy with this necessarily here. So,
Metals dropping, sale incoming. Could you elaborate a little bit, Chef? I'm just curious.
He's talking about gold and silver dropping. Maybe there's discounts that you can buy into is basically what he's saying. It depends on how dovish or hawkish. Again, gold and silver are going to want rate cuts almost certainly. More dovish Fed might mean goodness for like benefits for gold and silver. I think long term they're still going up, but that's probably what he's talking about.
Okay.
Even then, I don't dislike John's idea of chop, so a failure move back inside could be the play. Yeah, for sure. How much is enough profit for me? I want 200 down here, really, and so I'll probably try to hold through that. We're already up a couple hundred on the day already, but it's a big day, and it's going to be a long day, and so I don't want to go too hard too quickly here and run out of room. So I'm just going to look to attack chop mostly today, guys. See what happens. We got 30 minutes into the opening bell. Here's 9 o'clock. We might get a 9 a.m. effect here, though. So maybe we'll get a 9 o'clock effect here. We'll see. Yeah, it is a big day here. All right, I'm gonna cut this. Like I said, I'm gonna get out. I'm not gonna hold this too long. And with the choppy day today, I'm just gonna get out in the green and wait. We are currently up really nicely on the day already. We'll give it some more time and just wait and see what happens. A bearish day, I guess. Yeah, I mean, let me look at our poll. We did a poll earlier already here on the day. 51% are bullish, 49% are bearish. So, is leery and wary or similar? Yeah. So there's 9 o'clock. It is now 9 a.m. in the morning here, guys. Let's see what we get today. It's now 9 o'clock in the morning. Let's see what we get. NASDAQ did just jump up here, so it looks like I got out of this in time. I do want to see oil and see any breaking news there, but I don't see too much. Oil's still at 103.60s right now. So heading into everything, oil still high. Thanks for the news updates and the rundowns. Thank you, Darren. I appreciate the donation, my friend. I don't know how much money that is. I got to look it up, but I appreciate the donation regardless. Thank you for the $14, brother. I appreciate it, Darren. Shout out to Darren. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate the love. Thanks so much. But yeah, SoFi earnings. SoFi didn't really go up from the earnings call, huh? I mean, it's up a little bit. It's at 17s. I asked the chat if I should buy this early. The chat's like, nah, don't do it. Like, don't buy this. How much do you want to bet I wait hours for a setup, get filled, headline comes out within 5 minutes? Bro, that's been happening to me this week too, man. Look at oil come down, though. So oil dropping right now. Look at oil. I did see some volume spike over the last 3 minutes or so. Let me check this. Israel's Prime Minister's office says the Prime Minister has not received an invitation to Washington and no meeting has been scheduled. Yeah. Hey, thank you, Maxine. Happening to a lot of us lately. Yeah, it's been happening a lot. I mean, it's just kind of the nature of the market right now. It's a news-driven market. And today's a news-heavy day. So.
Chips is occurring among Republicans.
Yeah. All right, guys. You guys ready to trade here? You guys ready to trade? Let's see. I don't know what I want to do with this. The Nasdaq's starting to climb, right? Yeah, Nasdaq jumped up, oil coming down. I don't know if it's the Prime Minister news about not being invited to Washington yet. That could be what this is. Again, that could be what this is. Look at oil tumble. Oil's down a little bit here. I mean, oil's been falling over the last 35 minutes or so. 35 minutes. But it's not dropping like in any huge, like, particular way. So we'll see. But it's down some. It's not down a crazy amount here. So. Yeah, I did see that, God. About Netanyahu's trip to U.S. expected in Israel's Lebanon ceasefire contracts. Yeah, it's looking like all the ceasefires are struggling. I'm also seeing the GOP is discussing whether to authorize Iran war as 60-day mark approaches. According to Semaphore reporter, Senator Curtis says lawmakers are debating a response as 60-day trigger is near. Senator Collins says 60 days requires Congress to act. Tillis says conflict likely months from resolution suggests 1 year authorization. And yeah, so here we are. We're rejecting again at the top of the range for the NASDAQ. I think the chop idea makes the most sense today for trading here, guys. I think the chop idea makes the most sense for trading. No, you don't tell me. I just arrived right now. What are you talking about, Les?
Yeah, but they said they'd rather just wrap it up other than authorize an extension of the
I think everybody...
Which,
yeah.
I think everybody feels that way.
Everybody wants them to wrap it up soon. Nobody wants to pay all the gas prices that we're currently paying right now.
Yeah.
And the longer it goes on, the worse it is for the world. Like, just objectively, right? The longer it goes on, like, you got to understand, Brent crude is the worldwide standard of oil. And so Brent is going to influence everything else.
Yeah.
And in regards to the worldwide standard, U.S. is a little bit more resilient to it, but the pressure that we get from this conflict dragging on is going to be what affects things and influences how long it lasts, to be honest. And I think Iran understands that, and that's why they're coming out, basically, trying to influence that. Anyways, oil right at the 200 EMA right here. So you can see the 200 exponential, this yellow line. You can see oil start to dip some. We'll see if it holds. NASDAQ still in a tight, choppy, sideways range. Although we are getting closer to the opening bell. In 25 minutes, we have the open. So, market is in a big bubble. Market could stay flat here for another 3 or 6 months, but president needs to keep the market at this level for midterms. Petrodollar's under stress. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Is Kid Rock replacing Powell? Yes, that's right. You know. Yeah.
It'd definitely be interesting. I mean, scary, but interesting.
Yeah, no, for sure. Is Kid Rock replacing Powell? Let me know, guys. Let me know. I think it's an interesting day altogether. Yeah. Yeah, let me know. Is Kid Rock replacing Powell? Let me know. NASDAQ need to 27,155, then bounce. What's up, Chef? What's up, Jay?
Turns out Kid Rock was an economics major.
Would you take economic advice from Kid Rock? Yeah.
I mean, considering the wealth, maybe.
Nah,
although, it was a joke,
Kid
but
Rock, bro.
it was a joke, man.
Was it?
Yes, it was.
No, I'm just messing with you.
he made his money off of music. There was no
yeah,
no know-how in there.
the worldwide standard of economics, Kid Rock. You know, everybody loves Kid Rock's economic advice. I know it. I just feel it. But yeah, again, Warsh is set to get sworn in at 10 or voted in at 10 a.m. today. I'd rather take advice from an actual rock. Vote for Keegan for economic advice, man. That's the guy. The Strait of the U.S. has less to do with U.S. reserves and more to do with petro. Yeah, Brent for president. All right, guys.
Kid Roth review of Thomas Sowell. You know,
that's right. Oil, guys, is pushing down. Nasdaq's kind of pushing higher here, though. Again, China's commerce minister says the EU cybersecurity proposal abandons tech neutrality and undermines China-European Union trade. Ugh. Let's see what we get today, guys. But I'm a little nervous today, man. I really am. I think with all the big volatility potential coming so close together, right around, anywhere between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. today, that 3-hour period, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. today, is going to be really, really interesting. Really, really interesting. So I think it's something that we have to be wary of. Sorry, I corrected myself. We have to be wary of this right now because this is going to be an interesting day. Is going to be blocked for months. Markets will tank after Powell. He has no reason to be dovish. I expect him to be neutral or hawkish as well. And I think it just makes sense in the context of where we're at now regarding the economy relative to where we were during the last FOMC meeting. The last FOMC meeting, it was pretty neutral. People interpret it as mostly like neutral for Powell. But I think since then, obviously, the conflict has dragged on. We've seen stronger labor data showing resilience in the labor market and more risks to inflation because the conflict is seen as potentially lasting a little bit longer than originally expected. And so because of that, I think Powell is going to stress inflation risks. I think in the statement that goes live at 2 p.m., I think Powell's going to stress inflation risks over the labor market. I think he's going to say the labor market looks okay. Inflation's still a risk. We'll see what, we don't know which way it's going. I still expect him to be mostly neutral, but I do expect a slightly hawkish tone to come out from him. If that makes sense. I expect him to be a little bit more hawkish than he was last time, so to speak. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm tempted to short the market here, though, but you could also argue the top of the range here on the NASDAQ. Like, if we're looking at this, you could argue the top of the range on the NQ here is, like, this level here is what I'm worried about. Like, this level could be a top of the range. So we're kind of right in the middle, and I don't want to dabble into it, but I think we also have some reasons to maybe be bearish here where we're at now. We're right at the 200 exponential VWAP area. A lot of traders see that level. We've rejected there twice already, and now we're back coming down, and so I could see us doing something like this. Today, I'm not sure if we get something like this, but I think we could see something like this, moving forward. If Warsh voted in at 10 o'clock today, might have some influence. We'll see. Today might not be a bad day to just chill until after FOMC. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it in terms of, hey, let's trade chop. If today's probably going to be a range day, leading in all the catalysts after, the morning today into the afternoon, evening, markets might chop leading into that. If that's the case, then I think it makes perfect sense to attack ranges today. But who freaking knows what we're going to get in that regard here today. It really is a question mark regarding, everything right now. And so, again, we'll see. But I think there's a good chance we chop leading into all of it.
I think it's a little more stable to trade right now before than it will be after all the news and data drops.
Well, I just think that we might range. I think leading into big catalysts is to understand the dynamic of it, like the logic of it. I think traders are less likely to take big positions because even if you're talking longer term trades like swing trades or investing, traders are just less likely to take big positions leading into these big catalysts. Now, there might be more eyes paying attention, but I think traders are going to take smaller size because they don't understand. They don't know what's going to happen during all these big events that happen today, right? They don't know what's going to occur, what the price action is going to look like, where markets are going to go. And markets could turn either way, big up, big down. You don't really know. And so because of that, experienced traders especially are going to kind of sit back and wait. And so what does that mean? That means less volume, more potential indecisiveness, and in turn, choppier price action leading into this event. Now, we could also go the other way. Nothing's set in stone. We could very easily just be like, yo, you know what? We're going to be trending today. And so it's very possible markets just like, you know what? Let's freaking chop. We'll see. Or it's also possible markets get nervous or scared and they're like, you know what? Let's freaking go. We'll see which one happens, but I really don't know. Time will tell, chat. Time will tell.
How dare you not know?
I don't freaking know, guys. I don't freaking know. Time will tell here today, guys. Time will tell.
You know, always tells.
Yeah. Yeah, I might have muted you
secrets
for a second, Britt. So they're just hearing the last of that, actually.
Oh, and that was a good turn of phrase.
I know, dude. Listen, I missed it. You're fired, is basically what I'm saying. All right, guys. I'm tempted to short this. Talk me out of shorting this right now, guys. Talk me out of shorting.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Read the tarot cards. So basically, stocks are either going to go up or they're going to go down. They might go sideways. They could go to the right as well. Stocks might go to the right. Charts might move to the right. We'll have to wait and see. Tune in now to see what happens. But look, I'm probably going to short this right here, I think. I'm going to jump in short. We got one contract. Maybe I'll add a little bit more. Maybe like... We got a decent cushion on the day. I do want to take more size. We'll take 5 contracts here.
Yeah.
It went my way really quick here. So let's see if this holds. Basically, we're pushing it to the limit today. You know, we're the best around, Britt.
Indeed, we are. I mean, mostly you, but you know, I'm like your muse. You know, your inspiration.
That's right. You know, that's right. That's true. I'm getting it at the chop, which might be a bold move. Good time to short, in my opinion. I think it looks more like a short than a long here. And we are trying to take some bigger size today. Jim Cramer says Starbucks could be a multi-year rocket ship from here. Uh-oh. Again, the China Commerce Ministry says the proposal violates WTA rules and China will take necessary measures to defend legitimate rights regarding the European Union cybersecurity proposal. Let Brit trade? Not on this account. He's not trading this account.
Yeah, let me trade on the real money account, man. I promise I'll win.
Yeah. I'm trying to give this a little bit of time here to break down. We're all better because of Brit. Hey, look at this trade. Hey, look.
Well, thank you.
There we go. Look at this move.
You guys make me better too.
Yeah, I just took a little bit off here, and it keeps dropping. So we're going to keep scaling out as this drop happens. You love to see it. Is this catalyst driven? What do we got? 15 minutes left?
No, let me go back to...
Jim Cramer said to buy something, market drops. You know? You love to see it, though. I'm going to cut it right here, most of it. We got one left that we can hold break even now.
Banana has the target of new lawsuits over the... Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're still in this. We cut some of it just now. The Trump Kid Rock crossover indicator. Yeah, I saw some guy marketing to me on Facebook, and I can't remember what he was called, bro, but I feel like he was just spitting a bunch of nonsense. But I might be wrong here. I might be wrong. And he was basically saying, you look at the Dow, you look at the S&P 500, and if the Dow pushes up without the S&P, you buy the S&P in a day trade. If the, is basically the trade he was talking about. Does anybody trade that strategy, and does it actually work? I feel like he's, if he's paying for Facebook ads or ads, he's probably just selling things to people, which I'm not necessarily against. But you know, I was skeptical watching it. Is the point? I was skeptical watching it. No, probably not. Yeah, it didn't seem like it would work. I mean, I understand his logic, but sometimes those sectors trend against each other. And so acting like it's just the easiest strategy ever. Sometimes those sectors are gonna trend. Yeah, some indexes lag the other way, each other, or some of them simply just trend away from each other. It doesn't necessarily mean because the Dow pushes up that the S&P is gonna follow it back up. But maybe there's an edge in there somewhere. I don't know. All right, guys. Sounds like a Jim Cramer strategy. It might be one, brother. It might be one. Maybe it is one. All right, so again, I'm going to hold the rest of this break even. The 200 exponential is right here, though. Usually Bitcoin lags the NASDAQ. Good indicator. Yeah, maybe. All right, so we just tapped my entry level. Let's see if my entry level can hold it. We're very flat, very choppy in the NASDAQ. Not unexpected here, though. But we've done a pretty good job making money today. Again, you can use my coupon code BGT. Get the max discount on most major prop firms, guys. Check it out. BGT. Check out Lucid. Great way to learn how to day trade. I got Britt a Lucid account. He's going to be trading one of those too, a 25K Pro account. And remember, most day traders lose, guys. So if you want to help support me, I try to be honest with people. You know, I genuinely try to just be real with people about things. So you want to help support your boy here in this channel, use coupon code BGT. You can use it on Apex, still at 90% off, guys. Still at 90%. Lucid is the best of everything combined, in my opinion. I like Tradeify a lot as well. Cheapest direct to funded on Tradeify and more. Only plug we've done today so far, but help support your boy. There's the link. They are affiliates of mine. I'm biased.
And when I do start trading, I'm going to need all you guys' help and support. So, you know, help me out.
Yeah, help Britt trade when he starts trading.
Yeah, I'm very open to advice, you know. Yeah, and you guys all know more than me.
I see somebody asking for the Discord link. We did reject right at my entry here, chat. We did reject right there, right at my entry. Yeah, I have a Discord link somewhere. Ooh, something just happened to benefit my trades here. Thank you, the president. I think it's got to be a presidential tweet or something here. I love to see this, guys. I love to see this. Look at the drops. I don't see a tweet. Something happened. Something happened. Yen weakens to hit 160 versus the dollar, the weakest since April.
General Dynamics exec says CEO now expects 2026 EPS between 1645 and 1655.
Yeah, that's not what this is. This is something to do with oil.
Oil's
popping up higher here. Trump and oil companies discuss steps. I don't know what this is. You know what? We're going to go long again here, or add to this position here. Bring me the money here, guys. Bring me the money. I don't see what the news is here, though, guys. I do not see a catalyst right now. Trump and oil companies discuss steps to continue Iran blockade for months if needed, according to a White House official. Maybe this is what it is. Maybe this is what it is right here. This could be what it is. I don't know for sure, chat. I really don't know for sure. But maybe this is what it is what I'm showing. If you look at the screen right now, maybe this is what it is right here. If you look at this right here, maybe that's what this is. I don't know for sure, though. But again, blockade for months if needed, according to a White House official. I don't see any Truth Social tweets. Oil did jump all the way back up to 104s on this catalyst. Again, Trump and oil companies discuss steps to continue the Iran blockade for months if needed. I don't think this is as bad as people think. I'm going to take half of this off here. If needed is the key word there. I don't necessarily mean that thing. Actually, I don't necessarily mean think it.
No, to me, that just indicates a contingency. Not that it necessarily will happen.
Right. A news event did go in my favor for once. So I am, you know.
You knew it was coming, didn't you, John?
Right. I knew it was coming, guys. I knew it was coming. I just knew I should go short right there. And we're really nicely green on the day.
Heck yeah, man. John just felt it in his bones.
Yeah, green is good, guys. Green is good. I will take it. I'm still short here, too. We took most of it off, though. But we are still short. Let's see if the escalation continues here with this catalyst. But that is what just happened here. Again, this is what happened. If you look at it, oil still spiking up. It just broke 104s. NASDAQ still breaking down here. We are getting close to lows. Oil at 104s here, guys. Look at 104s on oil. So oil is running here right now. I think I'm gonna cut this pretty soon here, though. I'll hold it break even on the last little bit.
Someone asked to check.
The drops are continuing.
Yields.
Yields are gonna be up on this escalation news if it's gonna be moving at all. Yields are gonna be higher today with oil pumping up like it is at 104 plus. All right, I will hold the rest of this break even. We do have the opening bell in 8 minutes. All right, so again, we are still sitting in this. I don't know if this is as escalating as markets are pricing in, but the NASDAQ is still dipping down here today, guys. Again, Brent crude is up to 116 a barrel. But again, White House officials say President Trump has discussed with U.S. oil companies' plan to continue the blockade. We are continuing to drop here, guys. We are continuing to fall. You love to see it. I'm going to cut this right around the lows right now here. I think I'm out.
John,
I'm jumping out.
Scalp. Why don't you trail stops? For me, I trail when I scalp.
I do sometimes. It just depends. Sometimes they'll move up to like levels to stop you out and then go right back down here. So I try to, I'm watching it close enough to where I can get out. And most of the time I'm trading smaller size to where it doesn't matter too much, but I do set stops a lot of the time too. All right, but yeah, I cut it almost at the lows here. But yeah, that is what happened, is this right here. This news right here is what's dragging markets down. So the opening bell, huh? The opening bell is upon us today, guys. The opening bell is upon us. Let's see what happens, but the opening bell is here. Opening bell is here. Huge day. We got the FOMC decision again live later. So
bullish or bearish on the market today. What about on the open, you guys? I mean, the poll was 50-50.
Is it?
Yeah. What do you guys think about which way is it going to go on the opening bell?
Yeah, we're bearish right now. Will the opening bell?
Yeah.
Are you bullish or bearish for the open? Is the poll today? Bull or bear for the opening bell today? Let me know, guys. Big Papa Powell's last day. It's a big event, a big time, a moment in time. Are you bullish or bearish for the opening bell today? I'm going to put a poll option up here, though, guys. So vote on the poll. I see mostly bears in chat right now. But let's see. Bull or bear?
I do agree, but I mean, we could see a pop-up just because, I guess.
No, for sure. Again, oil now at 104.30s, 104.40s. So oil's still surging higher here. Although I do expect us to have somewhat of a range. There's the poll. Poll is 70% bears mostly. 67% bears, 33% bulls. So mostly bears for the opening bell. Although I don't think this is as escalating as people think it is, this catalyst that we just got. I don't think this is as escalating as people think.
I'm going against the grain on this one.
I think markets already price in escalation as well. So we'll see. I got a big cushion on the day, though. We're up about $250 to $300 already leading into the open. So we will see if...
Yeah, I agree. Barring some major development, you know?
Yeah. I think we could chop from right here. Maybe like a long could make sense right here. Now, take it with a grain of salt. I'm not an investment professional, but considering all the big catalysts today, as I say that, look at this pop. I think a long right here would make sense too, personally. When you can use a tight stop, previous closing price, and a major support that's been confirmed today is where we're at now. And so I think, again, it's not certain for sure. But I think this market reacts and overreacts sometimes to things. And I think that's kind of something that we're seeing here a little bit as well. Yeah, Wash getting confirmed in at 10 o'clock could make things interesting.
Yeah. Well, like you like to say, time will tell.
Time will tell, dude. 10-year pushing 4.39%. They're manipulating the timing of info releases to influence the market. Oh, there's definitely some insider trades going on right now. 100% agree. 100% agree. I mean, obviously, there's insider trading going on.
Yeah.
Of course there is.
Oh, yeah.
2 minutes left, chat. 2 minutes, 3 minutes left until the market opens.
And guys, never tell time anything because time will tell. It can't keep secrets.
That's right. That's right.
And that was the amazing turn of phrase from earlier. I brought it back around. John, cut me off.
Yeah, that's what I do here, bro. That's what I do here is I cut you off, dude. Sometimes I hear you start talking, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep talking. I'm used to streaming by myself. And so,
dude, I enjoy it. Like, I don't care if I get cut off. Sometimes I cut you off too.
Yeah. And to be fair, if there's one person to cut the other one off, it's gonna be me cutting you off. You know.
I don't know. I mean, like, I think I'm really the real financial expert here. So
the chat would agree.
No, I wholeheartedly agree with you.
Yeah, you and the chat are an organism here, bro. Yeah. My middle name is Tom. Oil, guys, at almost 105s for WTI crude ahead of the opening bell. Here's the opening bell. It's coming very soon. We got the Fomc decision today and more going live, so it should be an interesting day. Wayne Gretzky.
They've been calling me that for a while. I think that's ridiculous, but it's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, look at the NASDAQ. So I said a long made sense, and I think it did still. Again, I think I'm not saying it's not going to come back down, but I said this when we were right here, just to clarify. So a long did make sense right there. And again, I think on a day where we could have choppiness, here's the opening bell. We will see what this brings here though today, guys. This is an interesting day at the opening bell.
I'm a little behind. What are we, 40 seconds out?
Yeah. 25, 35, 30 seconds right now, about 30 seconds.
Okay, so I do have a 5-second lag. I was just trying to gauge it.
Yeah. All right, so NASDAQ is down to 27,200s. Starting to dip back down here, though. Let's watch 27,200s. 27,000 is not that far away from where we're at now here. So I think that level is very, very relevant today. The opening bell is very soon. It's in 10 seconds. Hit the live button next to the play button. Put it in 2x speed here, guys, and we'll see what we get. 27,200s right now. Here's the opening bell. Let's watch oil. Yeah, let's watch oil. Let's watch the NASDAQ here. There's the opening bell. NASDAQ fell down to 27,200s. Starting to bounce back higher here. But so far, 27,200s is holding some support. But it doesn't mean anything. This is the opening bell. Look at it dump right down underneath it. So we just broke underneath it under the previous closing price. The NASDAQ is now technically red on the day here. NASDAQ is down to 27,178. Technically red on the day. Oil's not really jumping that much. Nvidia just fell pretty big here. If you look at Nvidia right here, Nvidia is falling down at the opening bell. It's probably influencing the NASDAQ some. Again, Mag 7 earnings do release today. We have Microsoft falling down to 421s from Microsoft. Meta is down to 667s. Google is down to 343. So big tech is falling down a little bit at the opening bell. Google is down to 340s. Amazon also releasing today has dropped some since the opening bell, but a lot of this is like microchips and tech. Nvidia down to 211.50s here. The NASDAQ is falling down as we speak here. NASDAQ is falling down. We're at 150s here, 150s. But yeah, big tech is dropping here. Look at these drops at the opening bell. Should we buy these dips here, guys? I don't know. You sound like an auctioneer? I am an auctioneer. I'm the market auctioneer, bro. I was tempted to buy this too, because I think even with these drops, maybe we'll get ranges. But again, the big catalyst that we got right before the opening bell was that the White House official says Trump and oil companies discuss steps to continue the blockade for months if needed. Is it time to buy the dip here, guys? I don't know. Yeah, I was trying to show you guys what was dragging the market down really quick. Falling knife. Yeah. And I don't think it's necessarily easy. Again, Nvidia is still crashing down here, though. Look at Nvidia. So Nvidia down to 211s, under 211s, now 210s. Should have bought the dip. Should have bought the dip, guys. I should have done it. I wanted to do it. You know, some say I should have done it. We'll see what happens. NASDAQ still tumping. Tumping. What does tumping mean? I don't know. Let me know, guys. NASDAQ is still dumping. Maybe I should have said trumping. Nvidia at 211s. Bear trap. I'm tempted to buy it. What time is it? I can trade 4 minutes after the bell. It's 2.5 minutes. Okay. We got some time until I can trade, but maybe it'll save me from making the wrong decision here. Yeah, oil. Nvidia did dip at the opening bell. Oil is pushing up to highs of the day for oil at 104.70s here, almost 105s for oil. So oil is moving higher since the opening bell here, guys. NASDAQ still testing these lows. Back down at 140s for the NASDAQ here. Oil still higher. Yeah, Google bouncing back. Robinhood down. Robinhood's had a rough year. Or really a rough 6 months, I should say, with Robinhood. But yeah, there goes Nvidia, crack lows again, down to 210s. Probably going to keep dragging the market down. Oil still elevated and spiking up here at the open. I have to wait 4 minutes to trade. 4 minutes. We will see. I'm tempted to buy it. I really am tempted to buy it. What time is it? You know what?
8:33.
I'm up $250 to $300 today. And so I think if there was a day where I could take more risk, it's today. Let's see what we get. I'll leave oil up on the right side so I can continue to watch that. But NASDAQ's definitely looking bearish here. Ahead of big tech. Nvidia just dumped down to 210. I'm going to buy this right now. And we'll add to it if it goes in my favor here. Very small position though.
Are you on a paper account or real account?
No, this is a real account.
Okay.
We're heading up. Do I want to add more to this? No, I don't think so. They say don't catch a falling knife. And maybe they're right.
Unless you're wearing gloves.
There we go. We're green. We are green.
Yeah.
If there's any day to attack chop, I think it's today, guys. We'll hold this break even or close to it now. Don't do it to me. Don't do it to me. Do not turn red. Do not turn red here. Oil did just break highs of the day, though, at 104.80s here. So I got to be really, really careful. I'm green. I believe it's going to go higher. Do not turn against me. It's one little baby trade. I don't like that. This is why I don't trade the open. It's chaotic. I'm cutting that right there. I'm getting out right there. We got out basically flat, honestly. And we avoided this low. But man, look at the market fall here, guys. Market is tumbling down. Oil breaking highs of the day. Almost up to 105 for CL futures here. The Japanese interest rate decision already came out. It came out, what is it, Monday night?
Yes.
Yeah. Why don't trade the open as I trade the open? I think it's okay to do today. I think if there's any day where I can trade big extended pullback here, it's today. You know? I'm going to buy this back up right here again. You know what? We're going to take some risk. I'm up hundreds on the day here. Let's take some risk. There we go. I'm going to cut it. Yes, sir. I'm going to cut it again. We're out of most of this now. We're definitely green. We're up about $400 on the day right now. Let's see if it continues. Yes, sir. I might cut this at here. Actually, no. You know what? Let's hold this. Yes, sir. I'm going to cut it right there. All right. Woo!
Yeah, NASDAQ down 68 points. S&P 8 points. Dow 43.
Yeah, what I saw here, guys, is like the reason I jumped back in with some size just now is because what I saw here is I saw oil start to contract a little bit. And even though the NASDAQ was right at lows of the day with oil starting to pull back a little bit. So with that, I assume that we'd get a little rebound here in the NASDAQ, which is exactly what happened. So I will take that. Green is good. I will take the trade. We did get a rebound like I expected us to. But oil, again, I'm watching the correlation in this, like the difference between oil and the NASDAQ here. And look at the NASDAQ jump right now. Look at the NASDAQ jump higher here right now. Look at it go. So the counter trend trade did make sense short term, I think, there.
Dang. Keep going.
Of course, yeah, we're covering Fomc today, of course. Yeah, we're covering it.
Pump up.
Yeah. So yeah, we're definitely covering the FOMC decision today for sure. And again, Warsh is set to get sworn in, or voted in, I should say, at 10 o'clock today. And so we'll see what the Warsh meeting, what happens with the Warsh meeting. But we got to watch the market make its moves here.
Dude, I knew you were the greatest. I don't care what the chat says about you when you're not looking.
Yeah. I mean, Britt, I knew you were the greatest too, man. You know, they say you're dumb. You know, they say you're stupid. They say, they say you don't know how to trade. You know, they say I'm better by myself. They say you're bad at Halo, Britt. They say all these things probably. Okay. I choose not to believe them. I choose not to believe them.
They do say all that, and that was just my parents,
Yeah. Yeah. I heard him say it probably, one time.
That was actually in my birthday card.
All right, so we're starting to head back down. Oil is getting back towards these highs, Britt. Towards these highs. Yeah, here's the previous closing price at 191s for the NASDAQ. So this is the red to green level on the NASDAQ is 191s. Here's oil. Day is done till FOMC. Maybe, brother. Maybe we'll get flat action. I don't know what we're going to get today. We'll see, my friend. We'll see. Will Trump tweet again before the FOMC meeting? Will we get a presidential tweet today?
Oh, the betting man. Yes.
I don't know. I think if we do get a presidential tweet, I think it might be after or during the Jerome Powell speech. Like, I think it'll be something like Jerome Powell should have cut rates a long time ago. When Warsh is stepping in, he's going to cut rates. Some say we should have cut rates 6 months ago. And, essentially, we actually did cut rates 6 months ago, I think. Yeah. We cut rates exactly 6 months ago, so maybe we won't say that. But Intel starting to jump, AMD down, NVIDIA starting to pop. All right, guys. Also, give me a follow at x.com @beginner trades. We post all this stuff live right here.
Followed him just today. Follow the trend.
There's the NASDAQ starting to jump higher here. NASDAQ starting to jump higher. Oil settling down a little bit, but it's not necessarily weak right now either. NVIDIA rebounding is what's driving this. Google rebounded all the way back up. Meta still at 666. Microsoft, another big story, still pretty low on the day at 420s. So
why has Robinhood been having such a rough 6 months? Like today aside.
I don't know, man. Crypto. Really, the easiest way to put it is crypto. Like Bitcoin is red. And Robinhood holds a lot of it. Anyways, oil starting to push towards highs here, though, but simultaneously the NASDAQ is getting right there at the previous closing price. Is this a short level for the NASDAQ here? I might short this right here. I'm going to short it right here.
Think it'll reject?
I'm going to take one small trade and then add to it if it goes in my favor here, guys. That's it. One small trade, add to it if it goes in my favor. Oil is up to highs again, which is why I'm, like, shorting the NASDAQ here, but this might be my first losing trade today. I have to go back and check like what my stats actually are. It's going to be green though. Look at the trade. It's going to be green. I believe it. Oil just broke highs of the day again. It got up to 104.91s. It's very close to 105s here. So oil just did get up to the high of the day. It's at 104.90s again. It's right at the highs for oil. So crude still pushing higher here. Yes, sir. Riding it back down.
Thanks for the input, Pew.
Yeah, look at oil spike towards 105s here. Look at oil spike to 105s. There we go. As long as it doesn't bounce here and chop. Let's see if it keeps dropping. The good news is I can hold this close to break even, though oil's really close up there to 105s. Look at it. It's at 105s right now. The NASDAQ's not really following it, but look at oil. 105s. Yeah, oil got up to 104.98s for WTI crude. 104.98s. It's really close to 105s. All right, I'm going to cut it break even here, even though I don't necessarily think it's going to continue higher. Just to risk management this, I'm going to cut it break even and we'll wait now. So that's what I'm thinking here. Software replacement by AI. Yeah, for sure. Yes, there's been a lot of fears in that regard from this.
Be back in a second.
Okay. All right, guys, look at the NASDAQ jump. Maybe I got out right in time. The previous closing price is right here, though. Google's still rebounding pretty strong, though. Microsoft's still coming back down. Nvidia and AMD are both red on the day, but they are rebounding, or at least kind of sideways in terms of chop over the last 10 or 15 minutes here. But Google is rebounding pretty strong. It's almost green on the day for Google. 346.70s. Green is 347.50s. So... yeah. All right, this last red candle here, I'm in short right now. I just jumped in short again. We'll give it some time though, but there we go. I'm gonna cut a piece of this immediately here, guys. And then we can hold the rest close to break even. But I think oil wants 105s right there. Maybe that'll drag the NASDAQ down with us. Although I don't think it's an easy day necessarily here. See if we push. Oil's getting up there too. Look at oil. It's back up to almost 105s. It's at 104.90s. I'm gonna take one of this off here and just keep it really tight. Look, there goes oil. I think oil wants 105s. NASDAQ might keep falling down here, but it's not an easy day to react. We're still very green on this trade overall, though. I'm cutting it right here. Oil just dumped, so we got out. We made money on the trade, but just a risk management, and I'm gonna cut this.
How much of your awesomeness did I miss? What happened?
I got out of slightly green trade, but mostly flat trade.
Okay.
You know, so we made money, but it wasn't a lot.
Good. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so I see Fox News reporting that the oil sector, I could have held it and made more money too, but the oil sector officials expressed their support for Trump's measure regarding Iran to secure global oil supplies. Again, Netanyahu will not travel to Washington next week, is what I'm showing as well. So still a little bit up in the air regarding things. Nvidia is still dropping too. It's at 210s again, under 211s now for Nvidia. So Nvidia is still kind of a struggle here. Yeah, Warsh does step in at 10 o'clock today. I should have held that short, guys. I should have held. What was I doing here today? I should have freaking held.
Disappointed, John. I was going to tell you, but I thought you knew.
I know, man. I believe you were, Britt. I believe you were going to tell me. It's unfortunate. I should have held. I blame Britt.
One of the top three knowers of all time.
And the chat. I blame Britt and the chat here.
Don't worry, chat. I'll take the rap on this one.
30%. All right, so here's a bounce back up. Again, oil did tap 105s here. So if we are going to bounce back higher, maybe this is the move where it happens, to be honest. So, again, NVIDIA just cracked lows of the day, though. So be a little wary of NVIDIA here. NVIDIA...
What about NVIDIA?
NVIDIA cracked lows. It might bounce back higher here, but here's NVIDIA on the right side. NVIDIA is down 210s. So
Also, don't you mean weary?
I mean friendly, you know. I mean, actually no. Yes, I mean weary Brit. Let me get it right for once, dude. I got it right. Let me get it right. Okay. I say weary. This time I said weary. I was like, you know what? I'm getting it right. Nasdaq trying to get higher. Here. That's right. That's right. Nasdaq just went up there and then rejected here, though. Let's look at oil. Oil at 105s.
Getting kind of difficult to trade here, huh?
Well, we're just chopping sideways. Somehow I've done it. My plan worked today where, you know, to be honest, we shorted this move, bought it down here, rode it back higher, and then shorted this again and rode it back lower here. So we've been attacking the chop that we've been getting since the opening bell so far, and it's been working well. We're up like $350, $400 on the day or something like that. So I'll take it. Green is good. But we'll see what happens for the rest of the day. I regret rating for a pullback. Some of the news we're getting is escalation in the conflict overseas, but
I'm curious what the favorite trading time frame is for day trading for the chat.
Yeah, what's your favorite time frame for day trading, guys? Yeah, let me know what your favorite time frame is. I don't know here. I really don't. I like 5 minute personally. It's kind of a good like neutral level where it gives us kind of a little bit of everything. It's not too short term, but it's not like long term necessarily either. And so yeah, I like, yeah, that's my favorite one. It's just 5 minute. A lot of the time you guys see me trade off the 1 minute chart, but I'm looking at other charts in the background, to be honest. I'm not just purely looking at the 1 minute chart. There's too much noise on it. And so I like the 5 minute, maybe the 15 minute to look at like easy confirmation levels. To give you guys an example of this, right? So 15 minute chart, you can kind of see levels a little bit cleaner here on a 15 minute chart, especially longer term levels. Like, look, just to put this into perspective, if I extend this level to the left, right, you can see where confirmation is. It's 27,000. If I extend this one to the left, you can kind of see the confirmation back here and here and here. And so a 15 minute chart can show you kind of the range. Obviously we should look up here, you know, this 27,300 recently over the last few days has been relevant. You can see it was kind of the low of the 27th. We did react to it yesterday and it's the top of today. So that level could be relevant as well. Previous closing price right here is this light blue line. So
I mean, I kind of get the gist just based on context, but what exactly are you referring to when you say noise in terms of the trade?
It just means that it's a lot of price action. Like the shorter term time frame you do, the more candles there are. And the more candles they are generally can be beneficial if we're looking at short-term reactions. But if you're looking at broader day trading, you got to follow the trend. And there's, when too many candles are out there, there's too much noise, is what I mean. Okay. But there's too many candles out there. So
it helps to kind of spread it out a little bit just to make it easier to read.
Sure, it's too much information. Too much information is usually, or a lot of information is usually good, but unless we're talking about really short-term time frames. And in that context, a lot of information can be negative here.
Just overwhelming.
Yeah, it's just too much. It causes fake outs, more variance and fake outs on a 1 minute chart. The longer term charts you use, the easier it is to identify trends and stuff like that. So
okay. Thanks for the clarification.
Yeah, all good. Impulse control, yeah, for sure. All right, guys. Nasdaq is technically green on the day. It's back over 210s. Oil just broke highs of the day again, so I'm wondering if I should short this level here. I'm gonna try one short. Again, that's what we've been doing today. Is we've been getting in one and then adding to it. Yep. Yes, sir. Let's see. Oil's pumping up right now too. Look at oil at 105.16s here. So I think if there's a time when shorts make sense, Yes, sir. I'm going to cut it right there and just get out quick. Just take my money here. I know I probably should hold this longer. I got the perfect entry, though. Like, as soon as I entered, it immediately went in my favor, and then I got out here. So, again, a really nice day trading for me. Look at the NASDAQ fall. Look at oil pump up here, though. So, oil's breaking highs, NASDAQ falling. Google is close to all-time highs, and we have a bunch of stuff going on in that regard, but I don't use time frames much. Mostly range bars. 5 to set limits, but 1 when we're actively trading. 5 minutes good. It gets rid of some of the noise. Like, I look at it a lot. Man, I should have held that short potentially here, but I did like the immediate bit of like good trade we got in.
Do you explain using a range bar?
A range bar is just people. I'm pretty sure a range bar. Let me make sure I get this right before I look stupid. Yeah, it's just it's a. Let me make sure.
My bad. I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
Yeah, no, you're good. I don't really trade range bars, is what it is. So I'm trying to. I've seen people use them before. There's just not something I do, to be honest. I'd rather just be real about it.
Okay.
So range bar chart shows price movement without regard to time, unlike traditional time-based charts.
Oh, all right.
It depends on what they mean by range bar.
Literally just cuts a factor out.
Yeah, hold on. Look at the NASDAQ pump up here. So the NASDAQ just jumped up. Google is really close to all-time highs. Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to trade, Brit. Like, a lot of people trade differently. So it just depends on how you trade, realistically.
Yeah, honestly, I would enjoy hearing about like the chat's different strategies for trading and why they're their favorites. I mean, maybe not right now, but just whenever we have time.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry.
Diversify.
Inverse Kramer. Yeah, I mean, look at the NASDAQ pump up here. So, again, this is mostly driven by Microsoft, Google, NVIDIA, all rebounding back higher here. SoFi is still pretty freaking red on the day. It's down to $16 a share. So, Iran's highly enriched uranium is likely at the Isfahan site, the UN nuclear chief tells Associated Press. Again, Iran's highly enriched uranium likely is at the Isfahan site, the UN nuclear chief tells the AP. All right, and I think the Warsh Senate vote is going to start soon. I think. But I don't see anything covering it. Huh. You know, the thing about this is they might say, yeah, it's supposed to start at 10 o'clock. I don't think Warsh is going to resume QT either. Oil's coming down, though.
Where is it at right now?
Hold on.
Okay.
Oil's at 104.70s, 104.70s.
Okay. Yeah, this was like an hour ago, but the IAEA director, General Grossi, said Iran's uranium stockpile must be addressed.
Yeah. Dan says the only thing that markets care about right now are earnings, zero downside due to economic conditions or Iran situation. Priced in addition, we have seen almost zero oil price shock in the U.S. Yeah, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We appreciate it, chat.
Smash the like, all that good stuff.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
And for those who don't know, the IAEA is the International Atomic Energy Agency.
I use Tradeovate. I'm thinking about shorting this as well, though. But I think it's a little bit spicier here of a short. And I've had such a good result today in my day trading that I probably should chill out a little bit.
Why is Tradeovate your go-to?
I like Tradeovate because it's web-based. My computer already eats a lot of software, to be honest. But I do like Quant Tower as well. But Tradeovate's the easiest to get set up quickly, realistically. If you're looking at prop firms, Tradeovate's the easiest to set up fast. Also, guys, if you haven't already, check out Apex. Most day traders lose money. Great way to learn. Most day traders lose. And so a great way to help support the channel. Oh, crap. Hold on. Okay, yeah.
IEA sounds like a good yodel.
Yeah, it does sound like a yodel potential. Kevin Warsh confirmation is supposed to be right now here. I don't know if I should stream it. We'll see. But rhythm sucks. Yeah, markets are kind of slowing down here. We'll see what the Kevin Warsh confirmation is, but let me see. If the only thing the Kevin Warsh thing might move markets here is if they don't vote him in. Right? If they don't vote him in, obviously markets are going to move from it. Yeah. Nomination of Kevin Warsh to be the Fed chair, U.S. Banking Committee. I don't know. How long y'all think the Warsh thing will last? You know?
How long do you think the actual event will last? Like in terms of streaming it?
See, the actual vote should be very quick for Warsh. But outside of the actual votes, they might speak ahead of it before voting and try to give their last arguments for pro or against it. And so it might be one of those situations in which it drags on a little bit longer. You know?
Yeah.
That's the only thing. What time is it right now? I don't know. I think I'm just gonna leave it to the actual FOMC thing, guys. So I think I'm just gonna cut out of here now. We will be live today, guys. So remember, we will be live today. Again, this will be Jerome Powell's last FOMC conference. And so I'm going to just go ahead and pivot to that right now. Be ready. NVIDIA and NASDAQ starting to break down here. Again, we are going to redirect you to that. Be careful today, guys. Be careful. Again, after that, we have big earnings and more going live. So just be ready. Be careful. I'll see you guys then. We are very green on the day, and I want to lock in the profit we have today already. I do not want to push harder right now in markets. I don't think that's necessarily a good move, pushing heavier right now. I think it's going to be better in that regard to just kind of sit back and wait. Again, we will be streaming the entire Fed decision. Some things to understand about this is, will they ask Jerome Powell about his board seat? As long as Warsh gets sworn in, they should. I'm assuming they will if they announce him, if they ask him about his board seat. If he gives up his board seat, that is dovish. If he does not, that is hawkish, chat. Just to give you guys some context here. That's where we're at now. We'll see what happens. Y'all be safe. I'll see you guys in 3 hours or so.
Yep, thanks for watching. Make sure you guys tune back in. And FYI, Be Ready is going to be my trading name.
Yeah, be ready. Later, guys. Have a great day.
Later, everybody. Take care.